Oh, sorry. Yeah. Gotta put this thing down. Because Pokemon has been consuming my life the way it does when a new good game comes out. But now it's time for 33 burning Star Wars questions. They're burning. They're hot. If this is the first time you're joining this channel for this stream, I ask a panel of guests who are not here yet about, hey, question number one, are we getting Luke? And they would give their answers, and we continue on. We do that 33 times. The questions range, most of them are light and fun, but then there's the serious ones that might take a good 10-minute chunk to answer. The point of this game is to have fun. There's no correct answer. It's all opinion, and we go all around. So I'll answer this first question, and so can you in the live chat. Are we getting Luke? From the okay, listen. Peli Moto, that's the mechanic lady. She was not in this episode only. She was also in like episode 2 in the background when Boba Fett was there. You saw her walking with her little droids in the background. Now they used her. That and knowing that they used her, I'm like, there's no way. They called the actress and said, hey, come in here, do this little scene where you're just walking. No, they had more reasons for her. They had a more meaningful role. That being said, that Max Lloyd guy, Aglax in the building.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Trinity? I can't hear you yet. Oh, you got it muted. But this is the thing. The point I'm making is that they got one of the pilots in this prior episode, and it's the same guy who was the stand-in double for Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker. If you're using him, you didn't just hire him to be a pilot. You're like, oh, this guy's already here. Let's just make him a pilot. He was there to be Luke Skywalker. So I am convinced that we are not done. We are going to get more Luke Skywalker. Are you in here, Aglax?
Hey, can you hear me?
Your microphone, like, but I still can't hear you for some reason.
I don't know what's going on.
You guys hear him in the chat? Yeah, that's aggressively relaxing. Neighbor to the north, you want to come join this too? Let me just copy and paste. Do you have a Twitter so I can tweet you it rather than putting it in the live chat? If you want to join. Okay, I can't hear him either. I think his volume was low. I heard him say, what's up? Oh, say it again. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what it's giving me a hard time for. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, man, I can't hear you, man. There he goes. That's the invitation for neighbor. If you want to join, Wayne Christopher Elliott. Wayne Christopher White. If you want to join too. Trin. Pickles in here. No, Luke also. No, Nerd Man. I can hear him. So is it me? Am I doing something wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, fuck. Let's just, as long as you guys can hear me. Question number 2 is, which is cuter, the Bantha or the Rancor as a species? Okay. Rancors don't have fur, which makes them, easier to maintain house pets or whatnot, except they're not house pets. Banthas, they're so large. They've got their little weird things around their ears, and this is really hard to do without a panel because I'm kind of expecting people to laugh at that question, but now I have to take it seriously. Which is cuter, a Bantha or a Rancor? I'm going to go ahead and give it to a Rancor. It can emote more. All I've ever seen a Bantha do is move left, move right, and sort of walk single file. Nah. Maybe your headphones are not plugged all the way in. That should not be the case anymore. We're laughing. Thank you. Let me see if you're back in here. Hello there.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's got to be me because I see your thing moving. Now I hear you. I hear everything now.
Oh, great. Hey, man. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
Hey, thanks for coming. I fucked up. But yeah, it was nothing on your end. Okay, cool. What was your answer to the question of Luke? Do we get him?
Oh, yeah, dude. We're totally getting Luke. There's no way
Are we?
around it. Oh, yeah. I
And
mean,
then,
Mark had so much fun. It's, a guarantee to make everyone go, oh, great. What a wonderful season, no matter what they thought of the other episodes. You made a good point about they're kind of telegraphing it with some behind the scenes, a bit of detective work on your part, saying that that one pilot showed up, therefore it seems like they're doing it again. So yeah, I think we're definitely getting Luke and Grogu. Man, now I can't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
I was just saying that there's a puppeteer who's there who plays Grogu. It's way easier to hide a puppeteer, or just a puppet. If it's an actor or voice actor, or it's different because they got to actually show up on set. But with a puppet, that's a secret you can keep.
Okay.
Next
No, sorry, I blanked out on the last one there. I was kind of resetting my phone there, so.
All right. Next
Didn't hear the
question is just it was, are we getting Luke? Was the first question. The second question is a Bantha cuter than a Rancor?
No, the Rancor is adorable. It forms deep bonds with its owner if treated correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
3. So how many babies does a Bantha have? Make Bantha babies.
Ooh.
That was his words.
Man, at least as high as 8 can be in a litter, I assume.
See, that's the thing. I don't think there is a litter. It's a mammal, right? So we think litter, but that's a big animal. How big are Bantha babies? Only Banthas we've ever seen were the same size, adult size. I feel like you can't have a whole bunch of little Banthas in there. No.
No,
Just
I'm thinking
one.
like elephant style, like they're large. You probably have like one, maybe like twins, maybe.
Are there elephant twins? These are things that I should be Googling.
I'm not an expert on creatures from that area of the world, so nor am I an expert on Banthas either. So I'm just gonna go with one.
I'm going with one. I'm going to go with one. And what Aglax, you said a litter of 6. What?
Yeah, a litter as high as 8, and I think it's like eggs, like platypuses. That's just me.
Oh wow.
Eggs.
Okay. So they hatch and then they get nursed like a platypus.
Exactly.
The fourth question is Peli Moto that wandering old lady in episode 9 who asks Rey Palpatine what her last name is? I hope not. Do you guys remember the scene? It's the finale of the final movie that they're doing in this quote-unquote Skywalker saga. Old lady comes walking across the sand, and she says, "What's your name?" "I'm Rey." "Rey who?" Okay, that was on Tatooine, wasn't it? And that lady was really old. It's possible that this woman is within the age of what Peli would be in. Who else would be just wandering across the sand, making connections here, guys? Is that her?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But no, I do not think so.
I agree. No, but thanks for bringing that horrible movie back up again. Now it's gonna haunt my dreams forever.
Hey, the no's have it. What's going on, Tony? Question number 5 of 33 burning Star Wars questions here with Neighbor to the North and aggressively relaxing. I want to know who's Boba Fett's best fighter. He's assembled a team now. We've got 1, Fennec Shand, who's cybernetic Fennec Shand. We've also got what are the mod racing guys, the 4 Power Ranger dudes, okay? They're really not the answer, but I'm including them here. Black Chrysanthemum has now joined the squad, okay? And Din Djarin. I wrote this question before this week's episode, and I didn't expect that to be the answer. I don't consider Din a Boba Fett fighter, so I'm not going to say him. I
Okay.
saw Black Chrysanthemum scurrying off in that one episode after he was let go from his handcuffs. I don't care about in the next episode he ripped an arm off. I saw you at your weakest. No. Boba Fett's best fighter is Fennec Shand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I would have to agree with you because I think she's a lot smarter than Mando. I think Mando's a little bit more badass. I mean, Black K's just, he's the tank of the group, but Fennec Shan's in the background, she's plotting and she's an assassin, right? So, I mean, he's got, she knows that Boba has power, and she's with Boba because she can profit off of this, right? She's in it for, for her own personal gain as well, right? So I think she's looking at the big picture of, Boba's gonna, maybe retire, maybe I'm gonna take this, and she is the most powerful person, I would say, or best fighter.
Trinity's responding to you. Oh no, one of them guys that you don't like the sequel movies. We're the majority, buddy. We're the majority right now. Aglax, you're the one.
This is like third sequel, right? Like,
are you crazy? There's like 12 dudes online that talk crap about the sequel trilogy. Otherwise, it's one of the most beloved films of all time. It's all three of them are on one of the most most money-making films of all time. Right now, we're talking on this show about a show that was continuing the story of those wonderful films. It's all being informed by that.
It's 33 questions, and about 30 of them are not about those films.
Fair enough, but I'm gonna make sure to interject a lot of it. Don't worry.
The question was here: who was the best fighter that Boba Fett has?
I gotta agree, Shand. I don't know if her surgery has hurt her overall ability. But you go and look at what she was able to do in Clone Wars and Rebels. Come on, man, she's incredible.
She wasn't in Clone Wars and Rebels. She was just in Bad Batch.
Is that where she fought? What's his name? Can't think of his name with the hat right now.
Oh, Cad Bane. Yeah. They both wanted the bounty from Omega. Yeah, that's what they were fighting over.
That fight between her and Cad Bane, where they just kept going back and forth, and they both just kept one-upping each other. God, it's an incredible episode.
Aglax is the people's champion. The fandom menace is strong here. We don't associate with that group, okay? But F those movies. Question number 6. If you didn't know any better, right? It's the first time you ever seen this suit. Barney. Could he pass off as a Star Wars character? I just feel like with all the prosthetic species that we're seeing in this current season of Book of Boba Fett, a little guy in a Barney suit could maybe... No, I'm still saying no.
Give him some armor, maybe. Suit him up like Black K. Some shock knuckles and purple dinosaur. Yeah, throw him in the background. I could see that.
Did he speak the same way he speaks? Super D duper. No, we have a guns though, and we got Jar Jar who speaks that way. So who knows?
Yeah, totally. We've Star Wars tried to move away from some of the goofier things we saw in the original 3, but this new era of Star Wars has been happy to lean into just showing goofy things in the background. We've seen the Devil show back up, and the Wolfman's back. So yeah, you throw a Barney in the background of a bar, I think it'll work out great.
Very smooth. Give him some of those Vespa gang mods, and he'll look Star Wars. That is so true, Jared. That is so true. I wouldn't disagree with that one bit. 7. The best prequel meme. This is tough, okay? There's a lot of prequel memes. If you guys are on Instagram, Reddit, all over the place. So this is where Liberty dies with thunderous applause. That's cool. But you know what I like? It's one that you can make a GIF on Twitter. It's when Obi-Wan pops up and goes, "Hello there." Best prequel meme. Neighbor?
I mean, I'm not huge up on the meme culture here. I mean, I'm an old guy, so but I have seen some memes involving like, oh no, not the younglings, like with the Anakin in the Jedi Temple, slaughtering all the children and everything like that. So those are some of my favorites.
I find a lot of memes refer to that lightsaber as like the Youngling Slayer 5000. Have you seen that before?
No, but that's amazing.
She's like, there's a meme where Rey is like, wow, I sense dark things and terrible things. Meanwhile, she's holding the Youngling Slayer 5000. I like jokes like that. Those are good. Oh, yeah, the high ground one. That's a good one, too. That's right. Anzo, what's up, Anzo? He says, yes, they had a bunch of dogs in the last episode of Book of Mando. Book of Mando.
Nice.
Yeah, I stole mine with the high ground. That's my favorite.
And there's another one where he's like, only a Sith deals in absolutes, which sort of an absolute, if you're saying only Sith can do that. What about no? Vader finds out Padme is dead. Oh, that's whack. Yeah, that was a whack one. Do it. That's an epic one. Ooh, do I like do it better than hello there? I like hello there better. I still like hello there. Best prequel meme for me stands at hello there. If you have other prequel memes, let us know in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching this on the replay. I
must have said, now this is pod racing, like 4 times watching the last episode.
Wizard. Yeah, that line over there when he goes wizard was like, wait, I could have sworn that, and I had to watch it back, and I recognized in Phantom Menace, little Anakin's friend says that, you did cool, wizard. And that's just such an attention to detail, and such only a lover of the prequels would do something like that. And doing
there's a comic that came out this week, which is the Great Jedi Bake Off, right? And in it, they give Wizard an origin story.
What is the origin story? You can spoil it.
All right, so there's this one specific Jedi kid, and from the planet he's from, they say wizard all the time. And all the other Jedi are like, why does he keep saying that? They show it in the story over and over again. He keeps saying it, and then by the time the comic's over, everyone's saying wizard. But they say very clearly, like, it is from this one planet, and this guy dragged it into the universe.
Okay, here's what surprises me right now. Because we have a show that releases on Wednesdays. We have comic books, if you didn't know, which release on Wednesdays. And the same week we get a show reference of Wizard is the same week we get the comic book. That's coordinations. That's a level of coordination which I did not expect from Lucasfilm. I guess Pablo Hidalgo is on that storyboard. Jaded Fanboy is about to enter the room here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Nice.
Good morning. We were asking.
Hey, Jaded. I don't think I ever said hi to Neighbor to the North, man. It's nice to be on the panel with you guys.
Hey. Yeah, we talk to each other in the chats all the time, but it's awesome.
Jaded Fanboy, what is the best prequel meme?
Wow, there was just so many. It's been such a while. It's been so long, I can't even remember. Most of them were the GIFs that I saw as opposed to like an actual picture. It was mostly GIFs.
Yeah, like I like the GIF.
I can't remember.
Obi-Wan says, hello there. I love that GIF.
Oh, yeah. Again, I'd have to go back and take a look. But yeah, there was a bunch of them that were really good.
All right, answer this one. I asked Boba Fett's best fighter. Who do you think that is?
You mean in the show?
Yeah, like of his team.
Well, definitely not Boba Fett, that's for sure. I can tell you that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jaded Fanboy.
What's the name of the his assassin bodyguard type?
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand is basically the closest thing to the best fighter, because until the Black Wookiee actually I see him fight on his side, I'm gonna have to say her.
Are we getting Luke's?
How the whatchamacallit, like the kids on mopeds are better fighters than he is.
Yeah, you're insulting right now. Okay, next one is, are we getting Luke Skywalker in the book of Boba Fett? We got 2 more.
God,
episodes.
I hope not. No,
no,
let him go. He's done.
Question number 8. Any basketball fans in here? Who is the Kobe Bryant of Star Wars?
Oh, wouldn't that be
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
The girl who plays Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher.
Well, what's what? Because Derek Fisher was his point guard. What's the connection? Oh, like the black mamba, she wore a snake bikini. So
Arguably the best to ever do it, but also died before she could have her movie.
yeah, neighbor.
I thought
I
that
offer
was
no
kind of
comment.
obvious.
So my comments will be not so good. If you're talking about like the best of the best in Star Wars, is that
Then
your
wouldn't that be-
kind of like
wouldn't it be who is then wouldn't it be who is the
He didn't
Well,
say the Michael
winner of
Jordan.
Star Wars? If you're talking about the best of the best, then it
That's
should have
Michael
been
Jordan.
that'd be Michael Jordan.
No,
Yeah.
Will Chamberlain, sir.
Like Yoda would be Michael Jordan, but Mace Windu, he
Okay.
could be Kobe's Mace Windu. Purple lightsaber, Lakers wear purple. Yeah, Kobe's Mace Windu.
All right, well, I'll get with that.
You know, I really like the Mace Windu comparison.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like yours better. Like Leia died before she got a chance to make a movie. That was really creative. Yeah.
I would say Mace is more like LeBron because he's good, but a lot of people hate him. So it's he's kind of like balancing those two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and Mace, like LeBron doesn't stay on the same team. Mace, you can dip in the dark side, the light side.
That's because nobody can handle him long enough for him to stay on the same team.
Qui-Gon is the LeBron. Chewbacca is the LeBron. Is the Kobe Bryant? Give me your reasonings for this. He's tall. Is that why? Qui-Gon? I don't get the Qui-Gon thing. C-3PO is Kobe. R2-D2 is George.
No, you know who it is? Kylo Ren, who has to keep telling everybody how good he is, as opposed to actually proving how good he is.
I like where this question is going. Kylo Ren. A lot of great answers here, and no one is wrong. Question number 9 of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Has Peli Moto ever gotten Jawa fur in her mouth? Just asking how she could possibly get, because she said they're very furry. When you complain about something,
she emphasized that they were very furry numerous times.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was
at
bothered.
least like 4 or 5 times.
And if it gets in your eyes, if it gets in your mouth, those are things that would reinforce the need to emphasize. So
you could see her eyes. You could see her eyes light up when she mentioned the furriness and how like she was kind of like insinuating that they were very soft and like a pleasant kind of furry. So yeah, I think she'd be down in that for sure.
Yeah, I'm just asking, has Peli Moto ever gotten Jawa fur in her mouth? And before I introduce this next guest who just popped in the green room, you guys, I'm Chillmonger, right? And you guys thought that maybe that was just a little pun on the name, Killmonger, because I'm chill. No, I'm very chill. I got friends with snowmen. I'm friends with Santa Claus, but not just any Santa Claus. I'm friends with the Star Wars Santa Claus. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I have an answer for the last question, by the way. The Kobe. I do think it's Qui-Gon Jinn because he died tragically too young, right? And one of the best Jedi of his day. So Kobe, best one of the best of his day, and died tragically way too young.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's cool. Let me ask you some more questions in here. I asked, number 1 was, are we getting Luke?
Yep, it's happening.
So?
All right, which is cuter, a Bantha or a Rancor?
I go Bantha, and I go Bantha because when Boba was getting ready to let him loose, his little tail wagged, and his licking him like a dog. Like I go Bantha.
This is a big one. Boba Fett's best fighter. Most of us say Fennec Shand.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm gonna go against the grain and say that it's got to be my namesake, Santy.
Black Chrysanthemum?
I've got to go with Black Chrysanthemum.
Very funny.
Black
the best prequel meme.
Best prequel meme is the one I use all the time is "It's working." So I take that from the Phantom Menace, and I'm a database programmer. So whenever I'm debugging code and I get it to work, I always use that one. Like I send it out to the team. It's working.
Santa's busy. He delivers gifts every December 25th, and then Data, man, shoot, and that's surprising though. The way that it's not surprising, I should say, the way that you have a handling on like the digital stuff on your channel. You guys should look. Aggressive Relax has got a channel. Jaded Fanboy's got a channel. Neighbor, you don't got a channel, do you?
I do. Actually, I put out 2 videos this week.
I apologize, Neighbor to the North.
More than I have.
I mean, I just started, so.
But Star Wars Santa's got a channel as well, is what I was getting at. And shoot, this guy does bingo with like predictions that you would do for the Book of Boba Fett episodes. He goes crazy, so check out him as well as Neighbor to the North.
Brilliant! I gotta do that. I can go plot convenience. Check. Bad writing. Check.
You're horrible. You're.
I can do that,
Bro, you're horrible. Is Peli Moto the person Richard Simmons is playing?
That is hilarious.
No, Richard Simmons.
Now let's mention yes.
Richard Simmons' sister, definitely.
Oh, that's good.
10th question of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Who is going to tell Din that you can block blasters with the Dark Saber? He doesn't know that trick yet. I saw him fighting off all of those guys at the butcher shop, and he's using it just to slice and dice.
But he knows that.
He never did once. Never once did a blaster hit a Dark Saber, and he reflects it back.
But he explains why. Because the more he uses it, the heavier it is. Because
hey, chill, I got this sword.
He keeps fighting. So he's obviously not fast enough to
shoot
block
you, and you try to block it.
One at a time. Wait, what's the question?
If I had a sword that could block bullets, would you try to block bullets with it? Would you go ahead and practice that one time? That's a scary thing just to hop into.
Well,
good point. Yep.
You could have used the same thing that Obi-Wan taught Luke with, that little droid thing that shot whatever that thing is. Is that called a training droid, I believe?
Yeah, but Jada, that's what he's talking about. Like, he didn't have the training droid at his disposal, so it's not just something he'll get. And we saw Luke was having so much difficulties with that. It's only until he kind of sat down, calmed down, used the Force. Din Djarin doesn't got that much midichlorians. I don't think that's happening for him.
Yeah,
I don't think Mandalorians, go that sort of route in their practice. I mean, you can see it with the armor. She was like hitting him in the head with the hammer. It's more of like a head-on approach to that. So I think that if he was going to be training, blocking, blasters, they would be shooting real blasters. He wouldn't try any sort of like training droid or anything like that. I don't think that's the way Mandalorians roll.
When he was fighting those gangsters or whatever, I didn't even expect him to pull out the Dark Saber. I was just waiting to go, okay, when is he going to pull up the whistling birds and just knock them all out? I honestly was expecting the whistling birds, to be quite honest. So the fact that he pulled out the Dark Saber kind of threw me off.
There's a little bit of a point to Mandalorians don't have. There's only been one Mandalorian that was ever a Jedi. And the only reason Jedi can block blaster bolts with a lightsaber is because they have the foresight. They can see things just before they happen, so they can move the saber into position where the blaster bolt's coming. So normal person doesn't have the kind of reflexes to block that like that. I don't think, as you say, Chillmonger, I don't think he has the midichlorians to do that. And Beskar does the job anyway. So I think Mandalorians with high quality Beskar, they're just like, that's all good. Because anytime they bring out the blasters, he just blocks it with his armor.
He just bows down and they just aim for his weak spots where it doesn't actually do anything. Right?
No, but Jaded, sometimes you can put a blaster protecting Beskar in your weak spot, like Grief Karga did in episode 3. Plot convenience.
Chainmail. We already saw, her making the chainmail for baby Grogu. So you just need some Beskar chainmail underneath your armor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going back to the memes there, did anybody see the baby Grogu with the Beskar chain?
I have seen.
It's like a gangster chain.
Yeah, with the Tims.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, my favorite meme when it came to Grogu was when the stormtrooper kept punching him. That was my favorite one. I love that one.
Hilarious.
God, I hated Grogu.
So I asked this question thinking my answer would be the whistling birds, but Jaded, you would say that Din Djarin's best weapon is the whistling birds, and his second best weapon is what, the Dark Saber?
Well, yeah, considering they were all like low-level minion type guards, that's what he usually used. Because I forget which, like, he's used it numerous times in his own show, and then whenever he was fighting a bunch of, whether it was stormtroopers or anybody, the first thing was use the whistling birds, take out the majority, and then go after them individually.
Yeah. Second best weapon, aggressively relaxing?
Definitely the Dark Saber. The first being, of course, his mind.
Sure as heck isn't his fighting skills, I'll tell you that.
Santa.
This is a really, really good question. I think his best weapon is the rifle that got destroyed with the Razor Crest. That thing that would disintegrate Jawas.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. It had so many different uses, right? You could shock people with it. You could shoot them regularly, or you could disintegrate them. The best rifle ever. But it's gone. So with it gone, I think go with the Dark Saber being the first, and then Blaster second, because he does pull out the blaster quite a bit.
Now here's an interesting thing. He got a new weapon in that ship, the little N1 starfighter. Does that count as a weapon? Because if that does, I don't know what is his second best anymore.
You just took my pick there.
All right.
I was going to say the Naboo fighter. That's definitely I would say like close to be either like second or first. We haven't seen it really in action other than, he burned away from the space cops there and the Rangers and that's it. But I think that's going to come into play huge in episode 6 and 7.
Oh, definitely. They got to sell that toy.
You're going to see the Naboo fighter is going to be, and I mean that spot for, I know Jaded your hatred for Grogu, but there's a little spot for the little guy in behind there.
Really? You actually noticed there was actually a spot in the cockpit?
Yeah, they disabled the droid. They took out the astromech droid, and they're like, we gave you a little compartment, and that's, if you don't think Grogu's going in there.
Well, look, I thought she said she used it for a compensator. I thought that's why she took it out. I thought in the show, the reason they took out the droid section was for a compensator.
Yeah. Well, so the droid doesn't fit in, but like there is still, you can see the little spot.
Oh, I didn't even know.
You're gonna see little baby Grogu.
It's a bubble seat. It's a bubble seat in the back.
I honestly didn't catch that. That's funny.
Yeah. That might be the second best weapon.
Finally done with that little munchkin thing.
No, he's coming back. He's coming back right away.
Grogu just using the Force, like as he's flying through stuff. And Grogu's just like throwing people around.
People only use the Force when it's actually convenient to the storyline. Otherwise, Grogu apparently keeps forgetting how to use the Force.
Let's go to another one. An old man from that species, Yoda. I want to know, where was Yoda's mental health on Dagobah? Mental health is really yesterday, wasn't it like Bell Let's Talk Day in Canada? It was, right?
A couple days ago, yeah.
A couple days ago. So that on my mind. I'm thinking, where is Yoda's mental health? He's over there on Dagobah. I feel like Luke comes in and he's just wacko, and I don't think he was playing a character. I think that he needed to exert a couple of things out of his system and get it out, and then he brought it back and he became Master Yoda. I feel like that was necessary for him. So yes, he was Master Yoda, but when that conversation started, he needed a therapist.
I'm gonna have to disagree, because after Luke kept insisting he's impatient, Yoda just went and then never went back to that ever again. You never saw him be that, I don't want to say goofy, but that senile little old man. So I think it was just an act, because it was a good point, Killmonger, but you never see Yoda ever return to that type of mentality ever again. So I'd have to say it was just an act. Your volume's off.
My bad. You guys know what? I always mute when I want to like click, so you guys don't hear click, click, click. So yeah, I was just saying, I got Scott from Hawks Holocron.
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
What's up, Santa?
good to see you,
Good to
Scott.
see you here, man.
Exactly.
Long time, been a while.
It's great.
I asked.
Is this where the Star Wars hype is?
This is where the Star Wars hype is. Here in the X-Wing.
Okay,
Really
let's
not
go. I'm
with
just
me.
making sure I was in the right place.
I was watching the X-Wing channel, and it's when I saw this question pop up. And I'm asking you now, Scott, is Peli Motto that wandering old lady in Episode 9 who asks Rey Palpatine her last name?
Bro, how crazy would that be? Did you guys already ask this question?
Yeah, we're at
I
10
want
right
it.
now. Yeah,
I want it. Yeah. I mean, these are the kind of things that they can do just to do them. You know what I mean? Like, if fans want it bad enough, it can just be like the moment I always go back to is when they revealed that Peter Parker was actually the little kid in the Iron Man mask in one of the Iron Man 1 or 2, something like that. So that was never the case. And then fans were like, it easily could be. And Marvel was like, yeah, actually, it could be. So I think definitely for this situation, too.
absolutely.
It's a cool idea.
And question number 9, let me get your opinion on this. Has Peli Motto ever gotten Jawa fur in her mouth? They're furry.
Oh, for sure. She even did the little blah, 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 like, you know, whether it was a smooch or a otherwise, who knows? It's definitely happened.
What was Din Djarin's second best weapon?
Someone else can go first if you guys haven't.
We already asked everyone.
I said whistling birds. Santa said the rifle that he had before it was destroyed.
Yeah, I think rifle for sure. I think is second. Dark Saber for the close up close and personal, and the blaster. We haven't seen that in action
With the
very
rifle?
recently. Yeah.
Santa explained it. It was in his Razor Quest when it exploded.
Oh no.
Oh, I know.
I forgot about that.
It's terrible.
Goku was in there when it happened.
Damn.
Unfortunately,
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who wants this one? Yoda. Aglax, where was Yoda's mental health when he was on Dagobah? Aggressively relaxing. Maybe he's away from his...
Hey, Santa, what was the question? One more time.
Question
I
12.
don't know where your mental health is.
Where's Yoda's mental health on Dagobah?
Oh, yeah. When 900 years old you are, have as many marbles, you will not chill longer.
Yep. Neighbor?
I gotta say, okay, so when we see old man Kenobi, right, in the original trilogy, he's kind of acting like, you know, he's someone else and his personality isn't the same, right? So is that like a Jedi tactic of like when you like fear someone or unsure of someone that you act differently and then you kind of like reveal your true self? So is that what Yoda's doing?
They say...
You know, acting like the senile old Jedi and then, you know, until Luke proves his worthiness.
A wise man can play the role of a fool, but a fool cannot play the role of a wise man. I think that's where Yoda's at, yeah.
Well, not only that, even with Obi-Wan, Luke always referred to him, you mean that old hermit that lives? I mean, even Obi-Wan was just basically going out of his way to be unnoticed.
Yeah, he's just the crazy old dude who's, you know, on the street, like, shouting at nonsense, right? But he's really, you know, he's ultra wise.
Did everybody go?
No, I think he's probably chill. I think he's probably chill on Dagobah. We saw in Rebels that he can communicate through the Force with other living beings across the galaxy. He was talking to Kanan Jarrus and to Ezra at the same time, in having conversations with both of them at the same time. So I think he and Ben were able to just hang out, chill out, because there's nothing going on. He's definitely an apex predator. We learned that through Grogu, right? If it moves, he'll eat it. So I'm expecting Yoda had no problem finding food to eat. He'd probably just chilling out there by the fire and hanging out with Obi-Wan and probably Ezra and Ahsoka, lots of just having chats.
Who were the dead Jedi he was having chats with?
Oh,
Qui-Gon?
yeah, Qui-Gon. We saw the well.
Well,
Well, Qui-Gon was the first one that was able to like continue after, but we saw in the Clone Wars season 6, Yoda went to Dagobah with R2, and he run into Qui-Gon's spirit there, the sparklies
Oh.
that were flying around. So yeah, he's probably hanging out with Qui-Gon too.
13. Was Kylo Ren gonna punish the TIE fighter that shot down Leia? I know she didn't die because of Mary Poppins. I understand all that. But there was a moment where he decided, no, I'm not gonna do it. But those guys behind him did. They were about to face some punishment, weren't they? No?
I think he was in shock. You know, he had already accepted he wasn't going to kill his mom, and then it happened so quickly that he was in shock. And I think had that the battle not continued, they were in trouble because he has anger management issues, for sure. So would not have been a good day for them when he run into them in the hall.
I don't know if he would have like punished them per se. I feel like that was something that, again, like he knew what he had to do. He just didn't have the strength to do it. So it was
it
just a
kind of
moment
upset
that
when he actually fired, so it's not like he went, oh well. You did react when it happened, so I think there was
That would be a
some-
solid little thing to like depict in a book to show that he was like waffling to the good side around that time. If you were to like to show that he didn't like punish them officially, but later on like when they were flying out there, an accident happened that ended in those guys' death.
actually, no, I have to retract because he does freak out and like force choke people. And yeah, no, so
he was more likely to just have them in a room and have a hissy fit, yelling and crying, as opposed to actually.
but he
punishing
didn't
them.
like make the
Oh.
command either. You know what I mean? He didn't say hold your fire and they disobeyed. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Now
He probably goes, he's like, good job, guys. Too bad she got away. Oh, man.
He'll go into the elevator. He'll go into the lift where he had his helmet, and he'll go back and he'll just, I told you not to shoot my mom. That's what he'll do.
Yeah, I agree with that right there.
That's what Kylo Ren will do.
14. What is the ideal ship to fight a Sarlaac? It's clearly not the Slave One, because the guns are right behind you, so that you'd be shooting the sand. It just doesn't work.
Can we talk about the no thrusters? Like why would you try and attempt this? When you know your ship's capabilities, right?
yeah, there's something in that ship that I don't know about. I need some explanations.
I would think a TIE fighter might be really good because they can hover and pivot.
It would be better. Something that we saw destroy Mandalore, the TIE bombers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TIE bomber. That's what I was thinking would have been the obvious choice.
What's our limit in
go on
size
top
here?
and they can drop their load and they're done.
Because those dreadnoughts look pretty effective.
And I guess a Death Star could do the job too.
Yeah, I was
Just
gonna say
laser beam him.
Yeah, Scotty, that's right.
It's a
We'll just
little-
Death Star this.
But whatever.
No.
Death Star it is.
Which
Yeah,
one?
that's-
Oh, right, exactly.
The third one.
What-
Death
what
Star.
comes-
You
Death
take
Star
out 5
3.
Sarlaccs at one time.
Death Star 3 was actually canonized by Lucas.
Oh,
When they put it into the Star Tours
Okay.
at Disney World. They were like, wait a minute, it doesn't fit the timeline. He's like, okay, Death Star 3.
That's perfect.
It's ridiculous. But anyway.
What's up, Bell Rev? 15th question. Is true or false? If you're in the live chat, just say true or false too. It is Kenobi should fight like old man Alec Guinness for consistency's sake, guys. We're all about the canon and continuing the story. That's how Kenobi should be fighting. Upcoming series on Disney Plus, they've got the budget, but you got to fight the same way that the old guys fought in 1977 without the special effects and Yeah, it's canon, it's consistency. We're Star Wars fans. We want things to remain the same. Is this true or false? I'm gonna say false.
I'm going to have to say false as well.
Consistency is for wimps. George Lucas. That's a quote from George Lucas. Yeah. So
Explains a lot.
that's false.
False. Yeah. 3 falses. How do you feel about it?
They could they could amalgamate a little bit. They could be. It doesn't have to be like over the top like any of like the prequel stuff. With like Yoda jumping around like a
Frog in a
around the
blender.
screen or anything like that. But you could see like shades of it in some of the Book of Boba Fett stuff. It's like it seemed a little sloppy, and everyone was like criticizing it as being like, oh, they're it's just not good acting or not good choreography or anything like that. But I think they're trying to get to that timeline where, this does happen like after Return of the Jedi, right? So we're still technically in the 80s as far as, when that film, right, got shot. So they're kind of, maybe trying to like wean us towards, that fighting style is still there, but it seems a little crude in some of the.
That sounds like you're saying true.
Yeah,
I think it has to
kind of.
Yeah.
Your ringtone, wouldn't it?
I'm saying the same as you kind of think. I think it has to be the Kenobi from the end of Rebels, like kind of stoic. But I also think it would be cool if he's like an Mr. Miyagi type. So like the Vader fight is him kind of with little effort, but not like super ease, being able to just be defensive and not necessarily like the Obi-Wan who's on the attack trying to kill Vader. I think once he realizes that it is Anakin, I think it would be cool to see him turn into the master and not the enemy again, kind of thing. But
again, if you're going to be using the Kenobi fight versus Darth Vader, he was fighting a defensive way just to stall. He wasn't really fighting to win.
Yeah, it was for Luke to
So
escape.
again, like it was a different tactic, a different purpose for the fighting.
But you can see the way, like even in the newer movies, right? Like Kylo Ren fights in the same way as Anakin does in the prequels, right? He's like full of more rage and less focused, right? So I kind of agree with what you're saying with, being a little bit more using his mind a little bit more, right? Like I'll bring up like
gotta toe that line. It's got to be like a Kenobi we've never met before, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite. Bring it to football here. Like I'm a Broncos fan, and Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl only passing 4 times. Right?
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's a good analogy, but I mean, like he's still, that'd be a cool thing to see. It'd be more of like the defensive mind sort of thing over like the hack and slash kind of stuff.
So let me get this straight.
Make me cry.
The question was true or false. Everyone in the live chat says false. I said false. Santa said false. Fanboy says false. And neighbor, you're not saying true, but you haven't said false either.
I'm saying in the middle, yeah.
You gotta choose.
I think it would be
true.
I think I would say
let's go with true.
Yeah,
I'll lean towards true.
4 truths, right, Hawks?
Yeah, I'm there too.
Right.
I would say it's false if he should fight like young Obi-Wan.
Right on. Aglax, you want to make this one absolute, or do you want to be a thorn in my side? True or false?
Here's what I'm gonna say. First, shout out to King Sloan for the Y-Wing. That would be the best thing to honestly take care of a Sarlaac. He's right. Otherwise, it's false. Like, Ben Kenobi is a conniving, dirty fighter. He's just going to do what he's got to do to win. We don't know what he's going to pull out.
Absolutely. True or false? Omega is Force sensitive. True. It's just much more interesting if she is.
False. Not true. Not true. False. I don't think there's any indication she is. In fact, she is an exact of her dad, as well as Boba Fett. Boba Fett is not. Her dad was not. She is not.
I'm playing it safe. I'm gonna say she's not. I know. I want her to be. I do, and they are like trying to clone Force users. I don't know. They want us to think she is.
She's not.
Oh,
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Go ahead,
Omega
Jaden.
from Bad Batch. Oh, okay. I was trying. Who's Omega?
Yeah, Omega from Bad Batch. So do you think she's got the Force?
It depends. We have to read like page 12 of the script to find out whether or not she's going to have it or not. They'll decide. Whenever it's the most convenient for her to actually exhibit the powers, then she's going to be Force sensitive.
Aggressively relaxing. Does Omega have the Force?
Oh, 100%. They're telegraphing it really hard. And I totally believe that she was the first like prototype of them trying to make the Gist Ascendancy style clones, like
Really?
Skywalkers.
Wow. Okay.
I think they're going to connect that they were trying to experiment with that.
Okay, let's go to neighbor to the north. True or false? Omega's got the Force.
I want to say false. Just based upon like her being, basically exactly like Boba Fett, right? Because she's like another perfect clone. But I mean, they could have done it. You saw in Mandalorian, right? They were going to kidnap Grogu to try and extract midichlorians to try and produce basically super soldiers, right?
Is
So,
that that's why they wanted to capture Grogu? They actually explained that finally?
I'm just connecting the dots. I think they want to do like crazy experiments on him, and
Because that was one of the complaints I had, is that they never actually explained why they wanted Grogu.
Dr. Persian mentioned that his M count, which you're not doing that unless you want to find out.
I think it's only in the next natural part or next process in the scientific experiment is like, okay, we can clone people now. Let's try to clone the Force. Let's try to clone midichlorians. Let's try to, you have to push that science somehow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
what if they've?
I think they're setting that up, right? They're setting her up to be the proto. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she doesn't have to be a Force sensitive. She can join Mandalore with everyone else.
They're setting her up to wear the proto armor. This was the original concept art for Boba Fett. So this was what Boba Fett was supposed to be, and when they were testing it, and this is the proto armor right there. It says the Boba Fett proto armor. This is what they're setting Omega up to be. They've got Alpha and Omega, Boba and Omega.
You know what that needs, Santa? That needs a Sabine paint job.
Yeah. Well,
will it have the missile that actually fired?
It also doesn't have boob armor. So you got to give it boob armor.
New chest plate.
It's a prototype.
It's a prototype.
What else you got over there?
Oh,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it because I'm just going to be jealous.
No, I've got all kinds of figures here.
Oh no!
We got Lando.
You're gonna hate this
right there. From and then we've got Casca Reeves.
Oh, my favorite.
The blue screen's messing with that.
Not original.
Oh, you guys will like this one. We've got
winner.
Right here. We've got Trapper Wolf.
Oh, he's got his own.
Dave Filoni.
You know he has one in his home.
Bro.
You know he owns that. You know he has like 10 of them.
And then I've got all kinds of vintage collection figures here too.
No,
We've
show me
got
your
from
vintage.
Nice.
C-3PO all the way to Maul, right?
They're all in
From
pack.
Clone Wars 7 and Emperor. We got Jawas in here. We got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Are they furry?
No, but their cloaks are.
Oh, I unplugged myself. Just a sec.
Boomer
I got
moment.
the problem Chillmonger had earlier. Now I can hear.
Hey. Question number 16 is true or false? 17. True or false? Ewoks could handle a Pike Syndicate invasion. They're very crafty.
It's called running away.
I'm not disparaging these guys. They could do it.
I think they're too useful. And they would find a way to like stick around just long enough to sabotage everything. All the ships just fall apart at the same time.
Yeah. Neighbor?
Can I just ask a question to the panel here? Just based upon this. since we're on the subject of Ewoks, and one of our last questions was, the Jawas being furry. Are the Jawas just like an Ewok sect that just ended up on Tatooine?
You know what? You guys know how a Jedi and a Twi'lek mingled and they produced a baby because they're the same. It's sort of the same situation here. Ewoks are the same height as the Jawas, and we always see them with their, they may look more similar to the Ewoks than we know. So I'm gonna agree with that one. Definitely. Yep, true.
So if they're in any way related, and we've seen the craftiness of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. I could see. I'm going with yes. Yes, true. They could hide. They could.
What are they going to do? Throw rocks? What are they going to do?
What?
You know it to be true.
They took out ATSTs. They took out entire stormtroopers.
That's not fair. They took out ATSTs because they were in the forest and they were able to set up the logs and the boulders. But
home field
they're on a desert planet. Where are they going to get that? It's not going to happen.
Look at the Tuskens. The Tuskens have like half the brain power of an Ewok.
No, but
they can hold off the Pikes.
It says Ewoks handle Pike Syndicate invasion. Yeah. A Pike single, not on Tatooine. Again, the home field is still in play, right? If Pikes were to go to the Forest Moon of Endor and invade the Forest Moon of Endor, could the Ewoks take them out? Absolutely, yes.
If you had the Rebel forces warn them and have at least 2 weeks ahead of time to set everything up, of course. But if a Pike Syndicate were to just show up uninvited, the Ewoks are just cannon fodder. They're nothing.
There's always a bigger fish.
You can punt the Ewok. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, they're not a threat.
Jaded, you're seeming on like the lines of like, could Batman take this person? How much prep time?
Prep time.
Yeah. As long as the Ewoks have prep time, and you have a forest, and you have the rebels actually helping them set everything up, and you have Chewbacca helping them, and you have all this help. Sure, the Ewoks can do just fine.
Well, I mean, they're straight up killers. They're murderers, murder bears. They're
murder bears.
Mm-hmm. Murder bears that go Uchiwawa. Yeah, sure. Okay, murder bears. That's their growl. Uchiwawa. Every time they get that, holy crap.
No, they growl. I mean, you hear them growl. Right?
They have the ability to be terrifying. There was like a gameplay mode in Battlefront, wasn't there? Like
yes,
where it's all in the
Ewok Adventure. And unfortunately, I saw the movie Ewok Adventure. They were puppy dogs. They were puppy dogs in that movie. Sorry.
That's true.
Throwing rocks at you, definitely gonna hurt. I like this. Spicy it is.
Especially if you have Stormtrooper armor.
House of Nerd Show, hello.
So you guys were talking about like a military attack. Now we're talking about a syndicate. I bet Ewoks would actually be really good at organized crime.
Yeah.
So, like, the question is,
they kill you with
bunch of
kindness.
Ewoks.
Especially when like spice is the motivation too, right? Like I'm sure the Ewoks get stoned. Like 100%.
For sure.
If that's the motivation behind it, and they're like, "Hey, we can take some spice along with this," and yeah.
The only way they could capture anybody is if the people they capture are already knocked out in the first place.
Question number 18. Sorry, someone was going to it.
I was just gonna say, wouldn't a Boba Fett had been better if the Ewoks had just, instead of the Sand People, he had joined the Ewoks and like was just really big, wearing one of those brown robes, learned about their culture. He's like,
I bet the Ewoks are not furry on. Oh, the Ewoks actually on Tatooine. Those are the Jawas. They've got no fur. They're embarrassed, and that's why they cover up. 18. I need that Cosca Reeves figure back up. I want to know true or false. Sasha Banks will use that Mandalorian theme song at a pay-per-view event as her WW entrance at least once. True or false?
There she is. True. That's happening.
Yeah, that's a true.
Yeah, for sure.
That's happening.
That's 2 trues. Scott says true. That's 3 trues.
Yep.
Jaded fanboy, please say true.
I would have to. It would have to be an agreement between WWE and Disney whether or not they'd actually do that.
That's not hard.
Oh, you don't think so? If that's the case, then I'd say true then. If as long as the legal aspects are non-existent, I'd say
Legal aspects look like that. That's
I guess, but to a point. I mean, it's like
WWE's got the cash. All they have to do is give them the cash. They'll play it. It's happening.
Yep. Joining us is Mike from Rogue Comics. Mike, true or false? Sasha Banks will use that Mandalorian theme in a wrestling match.
False. Vince won't pay for it.
see, there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they just need like 5 seconds and they can get away with it?
Yeah.
They just need a little sample or something.
They remix it. They'll remix
Yeah, but it
that.
takes
Exactly.
Sasha longer to get to the ring than 5, especially if they were going to do it. Perhaps tonight at Royal Rumble they might have, but since she just reappeared again,
She's winning this Rumble. She's definitely winning this Rumble.
no.
She just tweeted, "Thank you, Vince McMahon." What do you think that's in reference to?
Dude, she tweets Vince McMahon. Thank you, Vince McMahon, on a regular. Ronda Rousey's going to win tonight, unfortunately.
Think Ronda Rousey's gonna win.
I hope not. And I think
I hope not too, but that's where we're going. Go with the money.
Didn't
She's
she
like the
leave to
next
get pregnant
Brock
though?
Lesnar.
She did, and she accomplished that goal, and now she's back.
Is Matt Brown in the WWE?
Is who?
Her husband?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Just saying. It's only a matter of time.
One time, she went to like the first row where he was, and he kind of like lifted her and kind of walked her, and I don't know, it was weird. Neighbor to the north, true or false? Sasha Banks, aka Casca Reeves, aka Mercedes Kessler Vernado, will use that Mandalorian theme as her WWE entrance.
I'll offend a few people and say I'm not 14 anymore and I don't watch wrestling.
Why did you have to say it that way though? That's just horrible. There's so much more nicer
Yeah, I would have
ways you
said
could
it
have wrapped
differently.
it.
I would have said there's no wrestlers to actually worth watching anymore. That's why I stopped watching.
Not true. That's impossible.
There's too many wrestlers for them all to not be good.
Well, I mean, when the WWE had to resort to hiring The Rock and Cena, it was downhill by then.
I will say that the chances are greater of her coming out in gear that's theme Mandalorian
Ooh,
theme
the helmet.
than there is with the
Dude.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Mhm.
Dude.
Here. Dude.
I mean, once she gets her own,
Yeah. Aglax, what did you say the answer was?
Oh yeah, true, man. Or she needs to get a new agent.
The wrestlers don't have agents. They just negotiate and get stepped on. Question number 19, Aglax. Are you getting that N1 Starfighter toy?
Yeah, a silver one to go next to my yellow one. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that one that they spent the whole episode trying to make you guys buy. Yep, that one.
Oh, I'm sorry that you didn't grow up building starships in video games, but for the rest of us, that was a dream come true. That whole episode was amazing. The very beginning was like KOTOR, and then it turned into the N64 games for a little bit, and then we got little BD1 from the Fall of the Jedi. It was great.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
But
yeah.
the one thing about this starship is like he can only get one bounty now, right? Or he's got what, tie people to the wing?
Yeah, that's what the whole purpose
It's
of Starfighter negates why he had
Razor Crest.
Razor Crest in the first place. To store his equipment, to sleep, to store stuff,
To freeze you.
to freeze
You know
you,
what it
and
is, though?
bring people over. So the fact that he has the N1 Starfighter is like, he's
It's the
still
perfect
taking
man.
bounties, remember? Like, hello, show. Try to pay attention.
Well,
Everyone's coming home cold now, man.
that old new car smell is going to disappear quick, and then he's going to realize that he needs another Razor Crest because he did keep saying at the beginning he wanted a Razor Crest, and she's like, "Well, I can, get you one. Just take this or whatever, or something like that." He kept asking for a Razor Crest, so it's going to be more practical to get the Razor Crest. He's going to.
He'd probably swap one for a Razor Crest because it's all about that line. I can bring you in warm. I can bring you in cold. Can't say that when there's a cold option is the only thing available.
Yeah, like eventually
Although-
he'll just have to tow it behind him like an old guy with an RV in his car.
Hey, I have an RV. Are you saying I'm old? Is that it? No.
I would never insult
no,
him.
he's calling you a Wookiee.
Guys, don't tell him he's old.
She did say she didn't put the mech droid in there, so maybe he could squeeze whoever behind him.
Or just the head.
Guys,
Just the
it's
head.
Grogu. Come on, it's for
You'll
Grogu.
get-
Well, I know that,
Throw
but
the
I'm just saying.
head. Throw the head.
I think the N one's actually a perfect escort ship for the slave one. Bigger
What one?
bounties.
The what one?
The slave one.
I'm not familiar with that. What are you talking about?
It's
Oh,
the
that-
ship.
exactly.
It's the ship that this guy flies. His name's Boba Fett.
Boba Fett Starfighter.
No. Well, I'm familiar with him.
It's a fire spray model of a ship.
Okay, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I recognize that. Yeah, okay.
He only speaks politically.
The model is very recognizable. There's only a few, maybe even only
He
one.
can store the N1 in the cargo bay. How big a ship is he gonna get?
But if they
Is he
spent the
gonna
whole
get a transport ship?
if they spent the whole episode trying to sell you on this ship, in next season they'll spend a whole episode to sell you on another one. He'll be like, "Oh, cool! I finally got a Razor Crest, but this one comes in red." And all of you guys, I'm not saying
They're gonna
anyone
put
in
the sidecar
particular,
on for the
but-
carbonite.
but
Look,
all of you guys are gonna buy that ship.
there's no question that Hasbro's going to just dust off the mold for that ship, and they'll be producing them. I'll definitely have one in the collection. Whether I keep it or give it away to one of my channel members is the question. That's all it boils down to. I'm definitely going to have one. Yeah.
I'm
Well, I'm sure
only
they have-
buying. Oh,
No, good.
I'm only buying if there's a spot for Baby Yoda's like little hover carriage there. If that like docks into the back, then I'm sold. Take
Well,
all the money.
it's got the bubble in there, so you could definitely put the trim as well as Grogu right down in that bubble. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm
Take
sure
all
they
my
have
money.
Needs a
thousands,
shield that transitions now
and
to glass.
they have thousands and thousands of old from the Phantom Menace that they haven't sold, so they could just repaint those and sell them to people.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a glove box and shove Grogu in the glove box. He's fine.
Question 20 of 33 Star Wars questions. I'm here chilling with Neighbor to the North, The Jaded Fanboy, Aggressively Relaxing, Hawks Holocrons, Star Wars Santa, and Rogue Comics. And I'm asking now, were those thugs over at Tashi Station back in New Hope when Luke was going to go pick up power converters? Because they were there and they were still, very comfortable in there at Tashi Station during the Boba Fett episode. Not too much time has passed between that episode and, Return of New Hope. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, that was their base. So Luke should be very thankful that he was deterred from going there.
You're talking about the Nikto gang. Yeah, I think the Niktos were hanging around. For sure.
Wasn't there deleted scenes involving there's the couple when you first see that flashback there?
Yeah, that was Luke's girlfriend. The lady in there, that was his girlfriend, and she is canonized in the novels as well.
Cammy.
Right.
Yeah, Cammy. She's definitely canonized, and before even this episode, but now we actually got to see her. That was his girlfriend.
What was the name of the guy that they? Because I saw the deleted scene again a couple of days ago because somebody pointed it out that the two people kissing there were they were in the deleted scene. But who is it? Was it Biggs? Someone on Tashi Station?
Biggs. Yeah, Biggs was there in as well as Cammy and this other dude.
Yeah,
I can't remember his other friend's name, but the book talks about all of them.
that was a nice little Easter egg throw in for fans.
So we're assuming that the Niktos are in place before Jabba's death. Obviously, right? That's what
I
the
think
question is.
they're hanging around. Are the Nikto gang, on Tatooine before New Hope?
Mm-hmm. I think they could be, yeah.
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 Didn't they say too that they were working for Jabba or no? I can't remember if they were already in place because of Jabba and they were taxing the water or whatever. But that's a good question.
They were taxing the water, but were they taxing the milk? Because 21, does green milk go bad quicker than blue milk? Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I mean, does it have some ocean water salt kind of combo? It might
Or the
last a little.
salt preserves it? That's a
I don't
very
know.
scientific way to think about things, yes.
Has it been homogenized? I think green goes bad faster than blue. Why not?
Santa, you see milk and cookies all the time. If you see green milk, you're telling me you're touching that? No, blue milk.
No.
You're like, all right, make the kids happy.
Right.
When Luke was drinking milk in The Last Jedi, what color was that direct from the dude's boob?
That was the green one.
That was green? Okay, so then maybe it's like blood. Like they say that blood, the blood when it's in your body, it's blue, but when it hits oxygen, that's when, it's red, but it's blue in your veins, but when it hits the oxygen, it turns red or a dark red or something like that. So maybe the milk is green initially, and then once it hits the oxygen, then it turns blue.
Ooh. One half of blue or green is blue, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Very scientific today. Aggressively glassing. We already know what your answer is going to be. You're going to say, "Oh no, the green milk is better because that came in the sequel trilogy." So we're just going to skip you for this one. I'm joking.
Just so you know, blue milk has a life of 6 months as long as you keep it refrigerated. But that's the type of facts I'm bringing to the table.
Yeah, I'm agree with
He's got a secret stash of milk that's in the water. It's just low enough to stay cool. He just brings it up every day.
The best way to think about it is from which trilogy it came from. The trilogy that actually lasts forever and ever, or the trilogy that had an expiration date of, I don't know what, a week after the movie was released.
And also, back in the day, Nestle used to put out Nesquik that was blueberry flavored. So it was blue. So they haven't done a green. So that tells you that blue is better than green.
Now, but when I was growing up, every year my mom gave us green milk on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Oh, the pink guy.
The Shamrock Shakes, man.
Oh yeah. Those are
coming up real quick. That's gonna be here any minute.
And people line up to get those. Yeah, that's happening.
Yep.
Is it Bantha milk? Where's blue milk come from?
Let's go with Bantha. We've only seen it on one planet.
Max Rebo.
And I look, I'll defend the sequel trilogy all day long. Just Agax, he's not the only one here who is a sequel defender. I put the sequels before the prequels every day. It's straight up.
There are people that actually defend the prequels. I didn't realize that.
No, I put the sequels ahead of the prequels. In my ratings, every single prequel movie or sequel movie is better than any prequel movie. I'll put that up.
Santa's really old.
I have never heard that before. This is.
And I'm teasing, by the way.
I appreciate that take.
I do. No, it's true. I love the sequels. And look, Chillmonger's not wrong. I am old, and the prequel trilogy did not land well with me, and they haven't aged well either. To me, they don't age at all with time. They're terrible, and they haven't improved in iota for me. But the sequels, I absolutely love them.
Your opinions are about as valid as Santa himself.
Yeah, up top.
Wow. Canadians, am I right?
It's messed up. Messed up.
Cut that out. We're not doing the Canada thing right now because we're not. We're outnumbered. But
Well, see, actually, you know what? Taking Santa's age into consideration, you would think that he would swear that the original trilogy is the true trilogy, and the sequels are beneath anything. Like
the original trilogy is number one always. I'll never move off of that. That was my childhood. I was 10 when A New Hope came out, and it was Star Wars. That's the first movie I have any memory of, and that movie will always be special to me because that was my childhood. I was the exact age George Lucas said, right? The movies are made for 10-year-olds. I was 10, and that was it for me. And so, look,
what does that say about us?
I'm just saying,
you got the short end of the stick. That's what it says.
Yeah, the sequels to me are way better than the prequels. Just in it, look, you get the real Yoda back, you get practical effects back. To me, it feels more Star Wars than the prequels. All of it. And I know I get all the arguments, but anyway, that's me. I digress. What's the next question?
We got to take a moment, a pause for the cause, and recognize the Canadians in the live chat. House of Nerds show. We've got Biggerford Entertainment over here representing the True North Strong and Free. I'm older than Santa.
It's true. Mike Porter is older than me.
He says that my attempt at the dad joke tomorrow, sneak a peek. Well, why was the explosive fuse happy about being part of the lore? Because now he's considered canon.
Oh,
I like that one. I like that one.
That's good.
They're usually not this good.
You know what? It's not even a bad joke. That's a Marvel. That's a Marvel joke. That's what that is.
That's why I like it. That's got to be the spiciest take I've ever heard so far this year about the sequels being better. You laugh, but have you seen the Irish Kilts? You were 13 or 14? All right, then. Got him by 3 years.
Yeah.
Question number 20. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll skip a question because we talked about where we were when we watched New Hope. One of the questions were, where did you first watch The Force Awakens? It was at the AMC theater at the time, at Yonge and Dundas. First time I watched The Force Awakens.
AMC campus on The Ohio State University with my daughter.
Hometown theater, maybe 80 people.
Where are you located in? If you're not, you're in upstate New York?
Yeah, Syracuse area, about an hour from Syracuse. I'm actually 20 minutes from the geographical center of New York State.
Dude, I am like 10 minutes from the geographical center of Ohio.
That's awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that is cool.
What an American thing to say. My state. I mean,
like, the thing about where I live is when I tell people when you tell people you're from New York, what's your first? Like everyone's thinking you're from New York City, so you really got to specify. And I can't say upstate because, like, everyone has a different definition of upstate too.
Hey, are you wearing a
You're
Star Wars
basically
shirt?
in Canada.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. Podcast hoodie.
Nice.
It says Galaxy Far, Far Away on the sleeves.
Oh, it gets better.
Yeah, it's nice.
Someone's got background fuzz. I don't know if that's Onzo or Santa.
It's me. There's bathtub running.
All right.
I just came in here because I was like, did someone clone Mike and put a white beard on him?
That's the Star Wars Santa, bro. Yes. No one cloned anybody. I mean, not to my knowledge. The question I had here was, where were you when you watched The Force Awakens, Onzo? Did you watch it at the theaters or did you watch it on Onzo Vision?
No, Star Wars is always in the theater. I went to go see the Force Awakens in theater, and it was one of the worst Star Wars experience I had.
Damn, I wasn't that down on that movie. I love that movie, especially the ending. But yeah, the jaded fanboy, I'm sure you enjoyed it.
They made Finn
I
a
was at
janitor.
home watching it, writing down. I was at home laughing at how ridiculous every second scene was. It was great.
Aggressively
No,
relaxing.
I stopped giving money to the Star Wars franchise a couple of movies ago. So,
well, I'm sure you're getting that N1 Starfighter toy.
yeah, the only thing I collect that Star Wars, unless it's based off the original trilogy, those are the only toys I buy.
Yeah, I was standing on top of my car at the drive-in.
Really? Why were you standing on the car?
That's awesome.
Because the glory of it. A new Star Wars here before me. Oh, it was great. I was drinking. Sweet. People were grilling. Everyone was honking. Oh, it was the best.
Wait, hold on a minute now. He just said he was drinking. Is it possible that his admiration is due to intoxication of the sequel abomination?
Yes.
No, his ability to make it through the film was due to his intoxication. The enjoyment is another thing whatsoever.
Liquid confidence is a real thing.
I have spoken.
I personally think Episode 1 is objectively the best movie in all of Star Wars.
Wow,
love that.
Yeah. Now, you mean Phantom Menace is the best Star Wars of Star Wars?
The best Star Wars of Star Wars.
As long as you don't watch any other Star Wars movie.
I like relaxing. I like that.
Wow.
I like that.
Hey, respect, man.
I have never
You guys are
seen
so
a
nice.
bad Star Wars movie. And every single person I know who says they do still plans their week around when it comes out.
That's a fact, Mike. Don't tell me that there's not going to be a sign on your comic book shop that says, "Oh, gotta go watching Star Wars the next time they make a Star Wars film." Jaded.
I didn't watch it when it first came out. I had absolutely no interest.
Yeah, but you're jaded.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
We
it's in the
expected
name.
that.
Is Rogan here?
I am.
And the answer to the question was, or the question that I need answered is, where did you watch Force Awakens?
It was in Milford and Cinemark. It was an IMAX, and
He said Milford.
it was terrible.
When I went to go see Force Awakens, that was when they were doing the midnight showing. So I was there midnight, the night it started. First showing, I was there. Had people painted up as Darth Maul and everything. It was fire. It was a great experience.
Well, unlike Spider-Man, which was a ridiculous experience, I wasn't able to get tickets for the first show in time on Thursday. So I had to go see it on Friday at like 10 or whatever. It was still packed, but yeah, it was. And what's this about having Star Wars like in the winter time? Like Star Wars has always been in May, always. Like whatever. Yeah. So
You know who owns May in that studio? It's Marvel. So yeah, they had to go ahead and give them the Christmas release dates.
Well, that's starting to slip as well. More of the Marvel's slipping to winter than it is. If you look over the phases, Phase 1, there were none in the winter. Phase 2, there were, I think, 2 in the winter. Phase 3, there's like 5 in the winter. Like they keep moving more and more of them to winter.
I think it's really smart actually, because if like growing up around the holidays, it was always let's go to the Lord of the Rings movie, or like there is no big franchise that's stepping up into the holiday stuff. I really think that everything with the current climate has affected that winter is even worse now to deal with. So people just aren't really going to movies and stuff like that. But
dude, you're exactly right. Like with the pandemic going around and we're trapped inside during the winter, there's nowhere else to go. When summer comes around, the last place you want to go is back inside.
Right.
So.
No air conditioning now. Don't forget, you're in the Ohio area, right? So like that's in the summertime in Florida, Texas, these popular California, they want to be indoors where there's air conditioning. It's not a bad thing.
Texas, yeah, for sure.
I mean, do comic book and Star Wars people, do they actually leave their house? Is that a thing?
I do live in the basement, so
collectors, I don't think have time.
I mean, I've often asked the same question, like, I'm pretty active in like the comic book sort of YouTube sort of world, but I often ask, like, do you guys have jobs? Like, do you guys leave your house?
That's what I wonder about you, neighbor. You're in everyone's live chat. Like, if I go on with John's Comics with Kids, like, damn near everybody, TM Nerdy, you're just there. You're just in everyone's live chat. It's crazy.
TM lives like a couple hours from me, so we're.
Have you seen him?
No, actually. I mean, I don't leave my house.
Jaded is the same way. Jaded is like, how far is Whitby from where I live? Well, you don't know exactly where in Toronto I live because I don't say, but like, we're a good hour away from each other.
About an hour at hour and a half, because if it takes me 2 hours to get to it takes me an hour and a half to get to Mississauga. It shouldn't take that long. And it'll take me about 45 minutes to get to North York.
Are you in Whitby, Jaded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa, is everything a half hour from where you live too? Every store, every Walmart, every
there is nothing around me except
any direction
Amish.
I want to go. I got about 45 minutes to get there.
Concentration camps.
There's Amish around me, so yeah, it's 20 minutes to the closest grocery store.
Same.
Wow, really?
And we have one pizza place within the area. No delivery, not out here. Nobody delivers any kind of food out here. You have to go get all of it. There's nothing.
Outer rim problems.
No, except Dollar General. Now, Dollar General will be anywhere.
Every 10 miles.
Oh, man. Let's get back on track. I didn't enjoy The Force Awakens, but I do think it's the best of the sequels, in my opinion. I agree with that take, actually, yeah. And then
I'll give that one.
So the least rotten fruit is the best one. Okay, that's funny.
kind of, but
No one
that's just
agrees with my
our
take on
opinions. That's just our opinions. I want to ask now, what's the best character for cosplay? There's a unanimous decision. Mike, I got the same answer you got. It's the snakeskin Leia, isn't it?
Slave Leia, yes.
Facts.
Only if
100%.
you're
only
female.
one.
Only if you're female. If you're a guy, just please avoid doing that.
You know what?
I agree.
I'd be curious. I'm just saying.
No.
No.
I thought it.
I
I
don't-
thought
I
it
don't
was.
need- I don't need a slave Leia with a hairy back. Okay, I don't need a slave Leia.
I thought it was now the bikini wearing rabbit head lady from.
Oh yeah, the Twi'lek one.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Oh, you
no,
stole
she-
mine, man. You stole mine. I was gonna say from the back on the speeder there, right? Like that's
No.
everyone's
that-
gonna go.
like when they're walking outside and you see the people milling around. There's one lady that's on the side, and she's wearing like a bikini, but she's got like a rabbit head, like a big rabbit.
Wait, who's they?
I was talking about the mayor's the mayor's aide there who was escaping, right? You've seen all the shots from behind, right?
Long head.
I mean, that's got to be the best cosplay.
He's like the opposite of the guy from Little Nicky. If you remember the guy from Little Nicky,
I remember the
don't
movie,
ask.
but I don't remember the guy.
he's got boobs on his head.
He's got qualities.
I mean, it's hell. Anything's possible.
That's Star Wars.
You know, the cosplay I like a lot is Thrawn, because people that go all in with like the blue paint and the red contacts, like, and the general, like, I've seen some really solid Thrawns.
Mm-hmm.
I like that cosplay.
Yeah, but I've also seen some really good Darth Mauls as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I went to go see Phantom Menace, there was a guy that was dressed up as Darth Maul, and it was on point, man. It was really good. He had the eyes.
Anyone that's using prosthetics or skin,
Yeah.
anyone that does all in like that,
Yeah.
for sure.
Look, and there's one dude that dressed up like old Luke Skywalker and put that like blue crinoline around him, and so he went as Force Ghost Luke.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
It's really good one.
I could see the Afra cosplays coming out as soon as we see her. I think that would be a super popular one.
Pizza.
I
the
think we're
Hut.
getting her eventually.
Oh, he's wrong.
Oh,
Wrong
man.
franchise.
Hold on 2 seconds here. Hold on.
Oh, don't tell me you got a Pizza the Hut toy. Do
Dude,
not
if
tell
he
me.
has a Pizza the Hut right now. Oh, that's sick.
I couldn't really see it because of the glare, but what was it?
Vader Afra.
Yeah. So that's a Darth Vader 3. I just picked that up the other day, and
I think we're getting
if
all
anybody
that
thinks that
live
these
action.
guys aren't coming here, those murder droids soon.
I've been wanting that the lady who played she was going through a bunch of different names in Age of the Shield. It was like Sky, and then later
Chloe Bennett.
Yeah, give her Dr. Afra.
She's been rumored to
Dude. Yes.
play her.
Isn't that that's not Hit Girl, is it?
No, she's not.
Girl that does Hit Girl too from Kick-Ass, I
Chloe
think she-
Montez. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
another
she-
Chloe.
That's who I go to for Afra though. I like her a lot. I think we're getting that. Does anyone else think we're getting that? Hayden,
Yes,
Vader, Afra.
100. Like, I mean, they brought in
Black
Thrawn was
Percent.
mentioned. Black K's there. I swear,
getting
I don't know
Hayden
about you
Renaissance.
guys, but like, did you guys see in episode 3 or 4, whatever one where they had that really shitty chase scene, right? Did anybody
Yeah.
see the droids?
Which droid?
You saw a dark
With the painting?
protocol droid, and you saw an astromech droid, and I couldn't. They were just on for brief seconds during that chase scene, and I swear I'll have to go watch it again. But I saw a little red tint in that astromech droid's eyes, and I was
Really?
like, and I just saw, I was like, Afra right there. Like,
I think I know what you're talking about. It's right around the
Yeah.
time where the Ralph McQuarrie painting, when they smashed through the Ralph McQuarrie painting.
Yeah.
Because I
and
remember
he's
seeing
right,
him walking.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
because in the same scene we get the Ralph McQuarrie painting, it does show you that there's a level of detail that was taken in this scene, that was put into the scene. So you guys might be
So
on
they
something.
knew we were going to frame by frame that part. You know what I mean? So you're not
that's
wrong,
why it's
bro.
slow, right?
You're
Like
not
you
wrong.
want to pick it apart. And I mean, all the signs are there. I mean, it's they focused on the scar was subtle on Black K, and that comes from the fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's leading into the Obi-Wan series, which is like during pre that timeline. So you'll see you'll see a little bit of his origin. I could see at the end of this episode 7, I could see Black K running off with Dr. Aphra, the same way you saw, Ahsoka kind of like come and then leave. So that's just my take.
Mm-hmm. The 24th question of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Who's got the best breakdowns on YouTube? I would imagine Santa's going to say Star Wars Meg.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be my good friend Meg. Meg is, she's brilliant. I love her. She's a good friend of mine. And,
put that back up. Let me full screen you.
There you go. That's my mega mug. That's
Mm-hmm.
from Star Wars Meg's merch shop. She's a good friend. I love her, and I always look for her videos in the morning because she's in the UK. She's got a 5-hour lead on us, and
you know what? She gets the episode at 8:00 in the morning, and then she can have all the time to do everything that she needs to do. Yeah, that's a good time.
Right,
yeah.
and plus she gets great like any of the news that breaks. It's in the middle of the day for her. And so she can get those videos out. For us, sometimes those things break in the middle of the night, and so or early in the morning. But she's already had time to break it down, digest it, research it, and get the video out. I absolutely love her stuff.
Okay, that's enough jibber jabber from you, Hawks Holocron. Who is the best breakdowner of YouTube?
I want to name someone who's not like a top breakdown person, but Generation Tech. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yep.
But
he's like he always ends his videos like, if you watch this, then you're Generation Tech. That guy.
Alan.
Yeah, his ship breakdowns and battle breakdowns and like scenes and stuff like that are really good. And it's not like your mainstream like episode news breakdowns kind of stuff. But yeah, I like Meg's stuff. Obviously, all that's great. I try to watch everybody though, because they all have like very differing opinions on the stuff. So I watch all the big channels.
Next.
All right, I'll go. I'll put on. I don't know who any of the two people you were talking about because I'm more on the comic side of things. But I'll throw it out to my guys over at Team Nerd Herd. And Jeff at Geek Driven does breakdowns of. He's been doing breakdowns of like each Boba Fett episode, and they kind of break it down with a panel, and it's a little bit of a more of a comic oriented sort of take on it as well. So it's not one of the big movie reviewers or show reviewers or anything like that. So I'll go with those guys. Team Nerd Herd, check them out.
Mike, Rogue Comics. Who's got those best Star Wars breakdowns on YouTube?
I really don't know. I don't follow breakdowns like that.
None of those Easter egg videos. None of that. No.
I get enough from talking to the people that I talk to, where I have to sit here and listen to them like fanboy trash every episode and whatever content comes out. So by then I'm just all tapped out, and I take my enjoyment of it and keep it to myself and let them just rant and rave. So.
Fanboy, you got a comeback?
Well, if you want to have the best breakdowns on how ridiculous everything Star Wars has been after the original trilogy, I pretty much cover that pretty well. But if you want,
between him and Nerdman, I mean, that's really all you need. That would make you hate every single thing.
I have the best breakdowns on how ridiculous they all are, but if that's not your style, then don't worry about it.
Self-plug.
If you want to keep your head in the sand and pretend that they're all really good and everything is great, then
the memes are taking over, guys. The memes are taking over.
I'm gonna go next, and I believe Ryan Airy from Screen Crush is hilarious, especially the your mom parts. But he keeps it light and honorable mention to heavy spoilers.
Paul.
Oh my goodness, Paul does a great job.
He's very punny.
Yes. Yeah,
funny.
and look, Theory is obviously really good. There's a reason he's there. I actually like Alex from Star Wars Explained. take the politics side of it out, but his breakdowns are really, really good. All of that's really good.
I didn't put the politics side in it. I just
I know, but a lot of people won't watch him because of their political positions on things,
and vice versa. Yep.
Yeah, they've made lots of enemies.
Star Wars is so polarizing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I care so little. I'm not even going to ask which side of the political spectrum the guys are on.
Well, that's me. I tried not to pay attention to the political side of it, and
You know
just
what's
take
crazy
the
is, like,
content for the content.
When
No
did
content.
Star Wars become polarizing?
No content creators out here saying I am this.
That's when it started becoming polarized.
When?
With Rey.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
No, I
The
happened
content
before
created the polarization.
Yeah.
I think Scott was saying something important before y'all interrupted him.
I kind of forgot what it was, but this is what it was. No content creators out here saying I am this, I am that. It's the comment section, it's the interpretations, it's the opinions of others that have now boxed these people in. No one's out here like, oh, I'm a liberal or I'm a conservative. Like, it's just you taking your personal feelings and kind of not projecting it, but like you are definitely taking your bias and using it against the opinion of a breakdown. That's why I do watch Theory and Star Wars Explained and Meg and everybody, because they all have very, very differing takes.
But Scott, at
That's
the same
polarization.
Time,
So uncivilized.
at the same time, though, there are some channels that they go along a certain bias and they go, "Hey, I'm getting a lot of fan reaction," so they purposely focus on a particular bias because that's what
the
their audience
polarization.
wants.
That's the polarization.
And
So,
that's what
and it's
their
very
audience
obvious
wants.
when channels do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is also part of it.
I also say Star Wars Theory too. You know what? Star Wars Theory is someone who because he doesn't talk during his live reactions, I'll have him on like one tab and I'll have the show on the full screen and I'll be like hearing him as the show goes on, and that's a cool thing. But as far as and breakdowns are awesome too from him also. I don't watch a lot of Star Wars breakdowns, says Chris. I read and watch everything though. I'm a bit more comic focused too. Normies to nerds, the main authority. Those guys are not on the level of new rock stars than the dudes we're mentioning, but yeah, they're good. They're entertaining. I don't watch Star Wars breakdowns much. I watch Santa and Meg. Also X-Wing and Hawk's Holocrons. Yep. Trinity. Next question. 25. Someone's Darth Vader breathing in the microphone. Which actor for a Han Solo cameo? So let's just say Book of Boba Fett episode 7. Oh my god, it's Han Solo. Are they using Harrison Ford de-aged, or are they using the guy whose name I don't remember because he's irrelevant from the Solo film? Aglax, what was his name?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. Thank
you. Remember this stuff.
Jaded, you're with me, right? Like, who cares?
Why would you even put that? Why would you even put that movie to memory? Much less the actor who played Han.
So if they did a cameo, I do believe they'd go with Alden Ehrenreich, even though it's not something I would want. But if they were going to continue using him, it'd just be much more cheaper to do it with him.
Is this confirmed?
I've got a theory about it, and my theory is that they've been setting up an adaptation of Heir to the Empire, the old Timothy Zahn Thrawn trilogy.
100%.
They've been setting that up. A big portion of that trilogy is Han Solo, Leia. The two of them are critical, and I don't think that if you're going to get that completely retold in live action form, I don't think you're going to get Harrison Ford on board to do that many series shows. And it makes more sense, as you're saying, Chillmonger. It makes a lot more sense to bring in Alden and use him, because you're going to have him cast in mini series like a show.
Mm-hmm. But if they had the money, the technology, and Harrison Ford had the will, I'm choosing Harrison Ford.
Oh, absolutely. It's just not going to happen, right?
Onzo, how you feel about this?
They better use Harrison Ford. I do not want to see that guy that played Solo ever again. I don't want to see him again. So I think they will de-age Harrison Ford, because they did it with Luke, they did it with Tarkin. So why would they not do it with Han
and Princess Leia?
And Leia, right?
Oh yeah, that was the best one though. The Leia one, I love that one.
That was all right. It was all right. I think the one at the end of Rogue One didn't look good at all, but I think they're getting better. I think Tarkin was the best the best one they have done. Tarkin was the best.
The Leia in the sequels, the young Leia played by her daughter, was amazing. But I agree that the Rogue One was a little too much CGI. You know, maybe first attempt at something like that. Tarkin's lighting was a lot darker too, so it's kind of easier to hide some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it would be, and this is going to be a hot take, but I think it would be disrespectful to Aaron Allwright if they just brought in someone and threw a fake face on them. I don't think Harrison Ford's interested in being on set at all. So if you're going to use him and you're literally just going to use the face, I don't want that. I'd rather have Aaron Allwright doing the part.
Yep. And I like, and by the way, I like Solo. That movie's not bad.
Yeah, Solo's great.
Wow.
It's very easy to remember this guy's name because look at it. It's a very weird name.
Who's talking right now? Who
Sounds
said that?
made up.
Alden Eric. This is aggressively related.
Well, considering the movie had his name being made up, why not have the actor's name sound like it was?
Well,
made up?
it's because he was alone. His name is Solo.
Question,
Oh, there we go.
26. If he got his name Solo because he was alone, did somebody in the past walk on skies? Skywalker.
Well, actually, that ties into the Thrawn trilogy and the Force sensitive navigators of the Chiss. Their name translates to Skywalker. They are Skywalkers. They help navigate through hyperspace, and so the title means, you know, walking through the sky. So yes, Skywalkers are Chiss navigators.
Oh, there's an actual answer to this here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the name Skywalker is in canon described that way. I always wondered that too. Like, where did Shmi get the name Skywalker? Like, did her lineage just because she was a slave, they picked the name for her, or what? You know,
She just declared herself just the way Rey did. Last name is Skywalker. There we go.
poetry, bro.
See?
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a story to be told there for sure, and I do think it could tie back to Chiss and a Chiss Skywalker, and then that you end up with Anakin being so Force sensitive as a descendant of a Chiss Skywalker. It fits.
okay, we'll go on to the next question. 27. Was Greedo dead before his head hit that table? Yeah.
Yes.
On
You know,
impact.
That was it.
Easy
Are we
question.
going to use the real version, or are we going to use the ridiculous version?
No, we're gonna use the bang version, real version.
The McClunky version.
No,
You're saying
there's no McClunky in my Star Wars.
So somebody actually went into a voiceover booth and actually said that. Like, what was
Yes.
going through their mind when they said that? Like, and
You
who
can
thought
write
of
the stuff,
that?
but no one can say it.
Why would they?
George Lucas. George Lucas. He did it.
Luke looked potato. I don't get it. What does he mean?
Maybe the CGI. He's talking about CGI still. He said Tarkin was over rendered. I agree. Like, but it was a damn good looking video game.
Yeah.
Well, they got that dude that from YouTube or whatever. They hired him, so maybe the next round will look
But
better.
Tarkin was pre Shamook. That was all Lucasfilm. Maybe, I don't know. Nah.
No, it was definitely
Yeah.
post Shamook. Shamook showed
But you
up
know,
because
like they
the
could have
hit-
had these people working in the shadows, and we don't know. I don't know where they got some of this CGI renderings and stuff.
But like, isn't that what Star Wars is for? It's always been the place where you give all of the different aspects of filmmaking way too much money to be really, really creative and do a bunch of weird stuff, and then all the movies benefits afterwards.
Well, that's because back in the day, during the original trilogy, they were creating these technologies. And then when he made the prequels, he got lazy and decided he was going to utilize them to the fullest. And he did, especially during that trash second movie, Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the worst
Yeah,
That's
it is.
really disrespectful to the amazing modeling and like background sets and all of the
Exactly.
people that worked
Do
on
you,
those
do you put
films.
Attack of the Clones below Episode 1?
I put Attack of the Clones below the holiday special.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
wow.
Yeah, me too.
I put the sequel.
Wow.
possible to learn this power?
So much hate.
For
It's
real.
easy ranking: the original trilogy, Star Wars Christmas Special, Ewok Adventure, and everything else.
Wow.
It's not easy.
So you got Phantom Zones? 'Cause
Never
Jada
change.
needs one.
Yeah, right.
Well, there.
Oh man. So was Greedo's dead before his head hit the table, neighbor to the north?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty instant. We all agree on that one. Yep.
Absolutely.
Question number 28. Does Han regret killing Greedo?
Absolutely not.
Second thought.
Absolutely
Kill or be
not.
killed.
I think Leia.
If they saw his child there, like we saw in the last episode.
Oh no, he did. He did regret killing Greedo because he regretted. He was sorry for the mess. So he did regret it.
Very
He
good.
was sorry for the mess.
Do we think that was a nod to, like, is that Greedo's offspring that we saw in the last episode of Boba Fett? The little child who was like, you know,
flying commercial. Greedo's got money.
Had
you
money.
think?
Had money.
Yeah, he had money. Yeah.
It wasn't that too many years afterwards. 5-6 years. You think the mom threw it all away?
Possible.
Think he had bounty hunter
Probably.
inheritance? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, there's got to be like space Las Vegas somewhere.
Was
There
Greedo
is.
a good
There
bounty
is.
hunter?
About it.
Well, there was in the Boba Fett, you had the gambling halls already, so it's not like it's a rare thing.
I think if Greedo was hunting down what's his name for money, he needed money. You're not a bounty hunter if you're rich. You're a bounty hunter if you need money.
No,
So I
not
think-
necessarily.
Yeah,
think
you don't do a
they
job
don't
like
have a
that.
great pension or anything, right?
It's
Yeah, do you
just
think-
he could have money. He just wants more money.
And Mando
Right.
wasn't doing it for money.
Right, and Mando had money.
Well, Mando's funds were funding the freaking Navarro underground Mandalorian sect. So everything he did with his money was for the clan.
Right.
No, I'm talking about in this
No,
last
that was after.
last episode.
In this last episode, didn't he do the job so he can find the clan? See, I'm showing you guys. He only
No.
does jobs.
No,
Yeah,
what
well-
Mike's talking about is when Finnick said, here's some money. He said, no, this one's on the house. I think that's what Mike's
that's
talking
him
about.
being
Yeah, but
noble.
that was because it was a debt, though. He was kind of repaying a debt. That was a little different.
Right. It's not because he's got so much money he doesn't care about money. He cares more about the job than he does about money. It's just the relationship.
Same reason why you trick out your whip. You don't trick out your whip because you have money.
He said the same thing when he was talking to the armorer, how the creed is about the family, the relationships, right? That's why he's doing the job for free.
Okay, I guess it's settled. The 29th question of 33 burning Star Wars questions here with neighbor to the north, the jaded fanboy, aggressively relaxing Hawks Holocron, Star Wars Santa, Rogue Comics, and Onzo from Bigford Entertainment. Question 29. Has the Naboo senator ever been a gun? Has the representative of that planet at Coruscant not been like a human being? Not been someone the queen appointed? Was it just like one of them gun guys who wanted to represent the, they have a long history in the old Republic, and I'm just saying it's possible.
Jar
that a
Jar.
gun-
Jar Jar was senator.
Yeah.
He made the
Yeah,
motion
he
to
was
make
kind of-
Palpatine.
Yeah,
He wasn't
but
previous to
Palpatine
that.
was
Right before he
kinda
became
like
a Sith
forced
Lord.
into it.
You shut me right up. You're right. He had emergency powers, didn't he?
Yeah.
He gave the emergency powers to Palpatine.
Yeah, he gave the emergency powers.
Right.
Palpatine,
He was
because
I was the acting senator for Naboo when Padme was gone.
Palpatine literally got him in just so that he could give Palpatine the emergency powers.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a setup.
More so, he is Darth Jar Jar.
Right.
Like
Yeah, he
that
didn't know
just
any
like
better.
just leans more towards that. He's the mastermind behind the Empire.
George
yeah,
Lucas should have
right.
actually made him that Darth Sith. That would have been cool. That would have
yeah.
redeemed Jar Jar.
Yeah, definitely. And I wasn't even mad at Jar Jar, but yeah, that would have been way cooler too. But I wish you guys were here when I was writing this question, because you're right. He was totally a senator of Naboo. Let's go on to the next one. Question number 30. There is a video to accompany it.
It's done.
I'm asking, why was one blue and why was one red?
Well, the theory, I mean, blood is supposed to travel that way, right? Veins and arteries. So when they're oxygenated, they turn red and unoxygenated blue. So it's a vein and an artery.
Just like milk.
Santa, you need to start going last because you just ruin every single one of these with your.
Yeah, he's on it, man.
Okay. Oxygenated blood, because that's right. That's totally true. Why didn't I think of that? Where are you people?
That's not why it's red and blue.
Okay, let him know, Jaded Fanboy.
You think the writers of this show put that much effort into that? Are you out of your mind?
It's just food coloring and water. Come on.
This is the same writers that had Boba Fett in his chamber, in his little rejuvenation thing, and the Wookiee still couldn't beat him up. They don't have that level of thought process. They went, hey, red looks cute, blue looks cute. We'll use those colors.
The blue's for the mechanics, and the red was her blood.
You know why it's red and blue? You know why it's red and blue? Because the head writer asked his daughter, "Which colors do you like, darling?" And she said, "Well, I like the red and the blue one." That's why it's red and blue. Because it was oxygenated blood.
One's showing that her blood's flowing again, and I believe the other one was for the mechanics.
Yeah.
Like a 2-part oil. Mix.
Right, you know.
Exactly.
Make sure there's no friction or anything in there.
More thought in this than the writers of the show did.
That's why I love Star Wars. We just went way deep on that.
Exactly.
Great.
Rogue Comics, you want to add to this?
Oh, no, I agree.
All right. Question number 30.
With which one, though?
Well, he's not going to agree with me, Enzo. Come on. But
yeah, nobody agrees with you.
Yeah, no, damn boy.
No, this is why Santa does the best breakdowns. He knows what he's talking about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Santa, what do you think, though? Is any of that mechanical? What do you think?
I think that it's just the mechanisms there, like you would for
just replacing
hydraulics. You know, like hydraulic fluid and a coolant. So you've got hydraulic fluid and a coolant. That's what I think. I mean,
I want to defend that Wookiee one time though. Like, you don't ever hear anyone be like, Andre the Giant in The Princess Bride, he should have just hit that guy in the head with a rock. The man in black. He should have ended the movie right then.
No, because you wanted a fair fight.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
so that
why
long
hit it with a rock.
Andre the Giant, but not with this Wookiee.
Well, because the Wookiee didn't stand before Boba Fett and go, okay, here's what's going to happen. I want a fair fight. He just smashed through it and was about to kill him and still.
The Wookiees used to fighting groups of people at the same time, not one man by himself.
Okay, and he failed against a group too. So he can't fight singularly. And he failed against the group. So
actually, technically, he defended himself really well against the group, and it wasn't until everybody froze in place and they tricked him.
Right.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, a T-Rex wants to hunt, not be fed.
Sure. Okay.
Number 31, and Santa, you can go last. Aggressively relaxing. What was the evilest act of Palpatine?
Okay, this is easy, right? There is a book where you get to hear Palpatine's inner monologue. I think it was one of the Princess Amidala books. And he needed to call Darth Maul and tell him to go do something to enact his plan. And his inner thoughts were like, oh man, Darth Maul is going to be really happy I call him. And he didn't want to enact his own evil plan because it would make Darth Maul a little bit happy to hear from his master. That was probably the most evil thing I've ever seen him do. It was hilarious.
That's pretty evil. That's emotionally evil.
He's just so evil, it's almost crippling him.
Yeah. Neighbor, what's the evilest thing that Emperor Palpatine has done?
I mean, what aggressively said that's pretty freaking evil. But not giving any sort of satisfaction to anything. But I mean, I'll go with another one and say that you know, trying to convince Anakin that cheating death is, you know, is a possibility, right? And that just kind of pushed him over the edge, right? Like he needed to know, and that took him to the dark side, right?
That was
I'd
it.
say that's like the most scheming and you know, maniacal thing that I think he's done.
So let's just give it to the whole flipping Anakin, you know, not that specific moment, but all of it in total.
Yeah, his mind fuck of Anakin just
yes, because it started when he was young little Jake Lloyd Anakin Skywalker, and it built all the way up. That is long-term evil, yeah.
like the total long con. He got him
To the end of his life, cost him his whole life, lied about his family. Oh man, yeah.
I would love young Palpatine series. It would be hilarious. You just let him be just so evil.
Animated or live action?
Live action, ideally, but I'll take animated.
Okay. Anzo, what do you think was the most evil thing that Palpatine has done?
Order 66.
That's
maybe genocide is.
Not only that, Order 66 had Anakin killing younglings. So yeah, I don't know what's more evil than that.
Can we just all say that he is just evil?
Basically, yes.
Palpatine's evilest act was continuously having Jar Jar Binks have relevance by making him a senator, meaning we had to keep watching that character for another.
Oh my god!
That was his most evilest act, is forcing us to continuously deal with Jar Jar Binks.
You know, Jaden's starting to win me over. I think I'm just gonna start.
Rogue Comics, how do you feel about this? What was Palpatine's most evil act?
I agree. It was Order 66.
Two of you guys say Order 66. Two of us say coercing young Anakin. Santa, Star Wars Santa.
The Order 66 is a very, very strong one. But him lying to Anakin about Anakin killing Padme was pretty nasty. And even the thought, and I don't know that it's fully canonized, that Palpatine actually killed Padme, you know, from afar. Like he sucked the life force out of her. That's not canon. It's head canon for some folks. Mm-hmm. But as far as like him lying to Anakin, saying, "No, you killed her," that was pretty whack. But Order 66 is right there too. Like that's pretty messed up.
Padme dying by Palpatine's hand would be so much better than her just dying from whatever.
So sad. I'm so sad.
Yeah. They spent the previous two movies showing how strong of a female like leader she was, and then at the end she just no. I don't have anybody complaining to me about sand anymore, so I'm just gonna die. Forget the kids. I'm done.
Palpatine did orchestrate the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's a major thing too. The things that affect the whole galaxy, we can go Clone Wars. We can even say destroying Alderaan, you know, for that first time. He was, you know, he's under that umbrella of hierarchy, so I would blame him for that also, not just Tarkin. I feel like there's a whole lot of evil that you could say, but it's a Clone War when you're actually in charge of the good guys by being the Chancellor and you're the Sith Lord? What? That was before Last Jedi was explaining selling weapons to both sides. That was in there. That was integrated in Star Wars. That's crazy.
Did he really destroy Alderaan though? Like, I mean, wasn't that really just like a test run for? He had a new toy. He had to try it out. Usually, when you try something out, you're putting it through the paces. Doesn't count as like destroying something, right?
No, they knew what the weapon could do. They said that
they said built to be a planet destroyer.
Let's not take away from Tarkin, you know, being.
But you got to test it out. How else are you going to test it out? By destroying a planet. You have to find a planet to destroy.
Tarkin made the call there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't see him getting reprimanded by the Emperor though. Because
no. Yeah.
The Emperor didn't care which way, which method was effective. Was it Tarkin's Death Star, or was it Vader and the Force, and Vader being able to take? That was the conflict between Tarkin and Vader. And I'm going to bring up the Charles Soule comic because they touch on the conflict in one of those. But in my head canon, the most evil thing he did was create Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
I think he impregnated Shmi through the Force. Anakin was a Force birth. I think that Charles Soule canonized that in a comic. It's open to interpretation, but that's just kind of where I go with it. And then my straightforward answer is the corruption of Count Dooku, and the fact that Dooku was a Padawan to Yoda and one of the elite of the elites, and the fact that he was able to be corrupted and then also used to finish the corruption of Anakin. I just think Dooku got treated the most evil of some of the recent.
He's a political idealist, not a Sith Lord.
Right.
I heard something about that too. Oh, the Charles Soule comic? No, it's a thing. There's like an image of him standing above,
right over her shoulder, while there's like a creepy like twisting in her stomach. So I think that's true.
He was depicted in the novels, though. He always been kind of wild. Man, he was always down to dirt.
They came out after that to say that was a dream and that it could be interpreted either way. Like maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen. And I think Mike, and Mike Porter put as well. Like he killed Plagueis in his sleep. That was pretty messed up too.
Is he the best villain in like history of movies? I'll sit on that question. I'm gonna ask that another time because it's hard making 33 questions. I'll definitely be asking that one. And then 32 is which is more expensive, a back to pod or a racing pod?
That's a really good question.
I think Bacta is a resource that you need to continually like have more of it in the tank. Like you have to refill Bacta. I don't think it's like something that can be reused. So I would think that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, and it was only harvested
like coaxium.
It's grown on one planet. It's like aloe vera, right? Like you grow it, and then you extract the fluid out of the plant. That's how Bacta is gotten. It's taken from a plant and it's extracted from it. So that much Bacta to fill up, like think about aloe vera, right? And then aloe vera is not that hard to come by, but think about like whole vats of it where you'd have to be running it through and then replacing it. Yeah, I think Bacta pod.
Are we talking about pod racing?
Considering a racing pod can be built by a little slave boy, I don't think it takes that much money, does it?
Right.
Yeah,
we are.
It depends on how deep you are into the pod racing circuit, right? Like, you know.
Yeah.
We racing for slips or what?
You're replacing your pod racer all the time. I mean, like look at those F1 cars, right? Like those cost like in the millions of dollars, right?
And they replace
like
parts
this is like
mid-race.
Like this is like the equivalent of like F1 racing, but in a galaxy far, far away.
But a slave boy was able to build one, and
with junk in the backyard.
He's a freaking Jedi.
And he won.
That kid's midichlorian count?
I don't think there's actually any effort in building a pod race.
I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through Twitter. Tom Brady's retiring, thank God.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yay!
I know, thank God. Now he wants to go use all that PPP money he got for his company because he's just a small business and.
I don't watch football, but that's a legendary football player. Did he say he's retiring, or is it rumor?
Yes, it's a rumor.
Yeah, didn't he say he was going to retire before he went to Tampa Bay as well?
No.
No?
Oh. No, he didn't. No.
They just gave him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and you guys are telling me what racing pods do, but this is health, and from my knowledge, we've only seen the Bacta water work on one species of people. Isn't that right? We've only seen it on Luke. We've seen Finn use it. We've seen Boba Fett, and they're all the race of like what's it called? Human? Terran? What's the word for it? Humanoid. So. If it works on everyone, it's definitely a Bacta pod because it's the standard for healing, for health. And a lot of you Americans know, Anzo, you know how these Americans got to pay for their health care.
That's what I was gonna say. If Star Wars is kind of like Canadian, then it's free, right?
They've got senators. You guys have a senator, right? That's pretty American, bro.
True.
Yeah, look at our taxes though.
They introduced actually in
We
High
don't say
Republic.
that part. Yeah, sorry.
It's so expensive that even Emperor Palpatine couldn't afford one. He had to actually go into a cloning thing to be able to reduce himself. So that's how expensive the Bacta pods are.
I think it's like the very first episode of, or very first issue of the High Republic comics. Yoda and Master Vader come into scene, and they're talking about Bacta being a new technology or something they're just starting to develop. So Bacta's only been around a couple thousand years, or being used in this regard in that way. So that was pretty cool.
And it only came from one planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the High Republic. That was 200 years before we see Luke in that.
Yeah.
One thing I gotta say is like, so if this Bacta tank was in Jabba's palace, like, how is Jabba supposed to fit in that Bacta tank?
Yeah, or is it something that Boba needed?
Well, I honestly didn't even think it was Jabba's. I assumed it was brought there for Boba Fett.
It was because there's an episode.
Or was it
where
like Bib Fortuna's or?
No, there was a part where Finnick tells him he needs a Bacta tank, so I think they went and found one.
Oh, that was right at the beginning. You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that.
I've got the Star Wars comic you're talking about, the first issue.
Yeah.
I remember that scene. I just don't.
It's when they
remember
first
the
get
words.
to Star Killer.
Oh my God! Don't open it. You've ruined the value.
I know,
It's
right?
towards
Oh my
the
God,
beginning.
are you actually reading a
You're
comic?
not supposed to read those things, man.
Don't you know how
It's in
collectors-
plastic and in a box.
It was the first Star Wars comic I
You got
got.
hydraulic.
It's after the swarm, and it's after they get back to Starlight Beacon. Yoda and the other guy walk on.
Yeah, it's this. Oh, let me full screen myself, and I'll show y'all this image here. Right, this was it.
Yep, they're saying right there in that line they talk about Bacta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, back to manufacturing for the
Relief
Relief
effort
effort
after Hetzel.
Oh, Hetzel, that's right.
we are desperate for the right.
Hetzel is the planet that is all farmlands.
Oh, okay.
And
Right, and it was nearly destroyed. If
Don't show too much, you might get your channel taken down.
No, you can share parts of it.
I do this. I can do the whole book. No one cares.
Mhm.
No one's ever taken or challenged me on that from Marvel. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Well, if Comics
There's a lot of good
Explained
stuff
can
going
do it, why can't you?
And a comic story and how he removes the words on his things, he actually takes a precaution. Well, one interesting thing is when AT&T purchased Warner Brothers, he had a little trouble because they copyrighted his work, and he messaged them, and they're like, yeah, that's on our side. And DC sort of like said, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're cool. We're not going to copyright you anymore. We just got to talk to our higher ups to let them know about you, and like they figured it out.
Oh, that's cool.
Question. Final question. When will Book of Boba Fett go back to the past again?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
The 33rd question on 33 Burning Star Wars questions this week is I want to know your favorite Mandalorian. Let's start with you, neighbor to the north. Your favorite Mandalorian.
That's pretty easy, and I'm sure Jaded's gonna be. He can go next and just like rip me apart for this, but
Mhm.
Jango Fett.
Oh, God.
What?
100%. He
What's
held
that?
his own against. He held his own against a Jedi Master. I mean, he got decimated inside of the arena there, but he held his own against Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I would
Right,
agree.
I mean-
I would agree with that. I was going to say, if you ever wanted to take the essence of the Three Stooges and distill it and make it into a bounty hunter, then that would be Jango Fett, because he is the best, the most comical of the Mandalorians.
Clanking his head in
So I agree. I agree.
In Attack of the Clones, remember that when he hit his head as he was entering Slave One? It was an homage to that stormtrooper in the first movie. You remember that? Mm-hmm.
Jango.
Din Djarin is your favorite Mandalorian, Mike?
It's Django.
Yep.
2 votes for Django. Jaded, you laughed, but who did you have?
The thing about Django is this is literally a case of if you needed the son for the father to exist. If there was no Boba Fett, you would have never. Jango Fett exists because of his son, as opposed to the other way around.
Creatively, yes, but
Yeah, creatively, that's if Boba Fett wasn't considered one of the most a fan favorite, you would have never had Jango Fett. So it's obviously Boba Fett, because if you didn't have Boba Fett, you wouldn't have had the Mandalorian TV show. Every other Mandalorian exists because of Boba Fett. I don't understand how it's even a question.
Well, I'm just asking your favorite, so anyone can be right over here. It's a subjective question, right, Santa? Who's your favorite Mandalorian? Okay, Hawks.
I was gonna say I would argue that the Mandalorians and things like that were established when Boba was a child, right? Like they have existed on Mandalore, like pre-Vizsla, like these people, or that all came after the clones.
No, it came like it was even said in this last episode of the book of Din Djarin from last week.
Yeah.
You know that in that episode,
That's what it was. Yeah,
they've been around for 2,000 years.
Actually, if I remember correctly, the Jedi even exterminated some of them because they did a war against the original Jedi. And that's when the Jedi realized, because of how they fought, that they had to cut down their numbers because they started a rebellion. And that's mentioned, I believe, in episode 1 or so. That there's a reference in the prequel movies to how it's either the prequel movies or it's the Clone Wars, one of those two, where they reference how the Mandalorians had risen up before, and they had to strip them and get rid of the radicalists. And as a matter of fact, in the Clone Wars, there's a whole arc about how there's a break between the Mandalorians. There's the traditionalists and the ones like Bo-Katan, who FYI, that's my favorite because she's badass. And I'm talking like I like Bo-Katan because I followed the animated shows, so I like her from Rebels. She's probably one of my favorite. So, the Mandalorian War, though, they split in Clone Wars, and I liked this episode because it showed what happened after the Clone Wars. Because if you guys remember the Clone Wars, it kind of left it hanging where Bo-Katan took control of the Mandalorians, and they never really told you what happened until this episode. Well, I guess they all got glassed. So
my answer is short. I think the armor is right now. The armor is my favorite because I'm most intrigued by her backstory and why she knows so much about the Dark Saber and how to use it and that kind of stuff. So I think she's one of my.
Do we know her name yet?
No, I think
we have no information on her.
She could be part of that Duchess of Teen. Do we know how old she is? You're right. They could cast anyone, really. Because you know how Vader was played by James Earl Jones' voice.
Yeah.
But it was a different guy in the suit, and then when they unmasked him, it was a totally different guy again, wasn't it? They could do anything they want when it comes to like the death scene. So yeah, the armor could be freaking Betty. Excuse me, I was gonna say Betty White because that's the only old actress I know. But the armor could be anyone really old or someone pretty youthful.
Do
you
think the armor has good intentions?
They're Death Watch, I think, right?
What do you mean good intentions? I mean,
good intentions.
She's putting her
like good intentions for Mandalore, or
she's a fundamentalist, so it's hard to say.
She has her own ulterior motives, by getting rid of weaponry and saying that the Beskar spear can only be used. Beskar shouldn't be used as a weapon. It's only for armor.
Yeah, but that's what Iron Man said, and he became a hero.
Yeah,
she's a traditionalist, but she's also preaching some peaceful stuff. Let's stop using these things as spears. They're meant to defend, and I feel like that's traits of a good person. So I don't think she's evil. What was your question, neighbor to the north?
It was more like, do you think she's like a? Do you think she has her own motives for why she asked Din Djarin to destroy the spear and that sort of stuff.
In the same episode.
In that, I think.
But in the same episode, she's asking, hey, about that helmet, did you ever unmask? And his answer was yes. If she was in it for her own motivation, she'll be like, well, there's only 3 of us. All right, we'll let that one slide, Din. Come over here. Okay. She didn't. Scott?
I get the feeling like she almost considers him like a son because When you look at everything she's done from like Mandalorian to now, she even making that armor for Grogu or Baby Yoda, because I refuse. I hate that name. But anyways, if you look at the fact that she gave him that armor for Grogu or whatever, and still like, if I remember correctly, according to the old traditions of Mandalore, if you revealed your helmet and were part of that sect, they executed you. So by her turning her back and giving him a chance to redeem herself, I want to say she's kind of maybe got a soft spot for him. But that's just how I read it. And then there was that one episode where she let them escape and took down all the people, the stormtroopers, my favorite one. Like, so I think she follows the old ways, but I think she kind of has a soft spot for him.
This is definitely right in line with what I was going to say, because I feel like, yes, she has an alternative motive, and I think there's a trope for this where like she in her mind believes that Din Djarin can go to Mandalore, can be redeemed, can lead. She just doesn't want to tell him that because it will distract him from that journey. So she is purposely making him remove the helmet because that removes everything he wants most out of his life. So now he is forced to become what she thinks he is already.
So she's the emperor, basically, but for good,
yeah,
good
like
motives.
the
she's creating
the mentor that doesn't tell you they're the mentor. You know what I mean? Like she has a goal in mind, and she's using him, but not in an evil way, I guess. Yeah,
she's creating the Din Djarin that she wants.
It's a really tough question because I'm a little bit with Scotty here because the armor has a potential to be a very intriguing character. There's a lot of mystery behind her, and so similar to Scotty in that I'm unsettled on it. I think perhaps Sabine Wren could end up being that when we see her story more fully told. She's not there yet for me. The armor has a potential to be that, but I don't know enough about her yet. So if I just have to take on what I know right now, I'd say Din Djarin. But Bo-Katan, Sabine Wren, and the armor are all right there. Could step up into that favorite.
Yeah, it's like asking your favorite Jedi. There's so many characters we love. Yeah, Jaded?
I was just saying, we can't really count Din Djarin anymore because he's no longer a Mandalorian.
No, it depends by who.
Based on their rules, exactly. It depends on who.
Well, whose rules?
That is the rule.
F that.
That is the way. I'm sorry. That is
the way,
bro.
Wait. Bo-Katan has no problem at all accepting Din Djarin. And she takes her helmet off all the time. Sabine Wren, who rightfully won the Dark Saber, she's definitely Mandalorian, and she has no problem at all. So
she's a different sect, though. She's a different
I know, but when
we're
you say
Mandalorian, we're not asking which sect.
Right,
yeah,
right.
But again, the armor didn't say you are no longer part of that sect. You are no longer a Mandalorian.
Well, she has a very narrow view of who qualifies Mandalorian.
Oh, you're one of them.
Right. She would not accept Bo-Katan as a Mandalorian. She wouldn't accept Boba Fett as a Mandalorian. She wouldn't accept.
He's one of them.
She wouldn't consider any of them Mandalorian because all of them don't abide by her rules. It's much like sects of Christianity who say, well, we're the only sect of Christianity. Nobody else counts.
Okay, so but in that case, all the other sects, they're only Mandalorians because they say they're Mandalorian. But by the rules of Mandalore, they're not. So who do we go by?
It's all true though, because there's nobody leading them.
Yeah.
Right.
So once there is a established I am Mandalore with the Dark Saber, then everyone's going to be true again. But right now it is divided, you know.
And think about Satine, right? Satine was the last ruler of Mandalore that was Mandalorian, and Satine never wore any armor at all.
I'm going by the armor because she seems to have the most knowledge of the actual rules.
Yeah, but she doesn't have that Dark Saber.
So I'm being biased, I guess. I go by the armor.
So is Trinity. He's saying that there's only 3 left. Whose rules are they now? Sounds like we need a walk-off. Row Comics, I want to ask you who your favorite Mandalorian is.
I was being serious, Jango Fett, because he's the most comical to me. The other ones are serious. I don't like that. I want somebody that's ineffectual. I want someone that outsources a job of murdering a what was she, senator at the time, queen, to a shape-shifting buffoon. Yeah, no, I definitely and while they're doing that, I want them to.
Hey, Martin.
I want them to base the DNA of all the clone troopers off of this ineffectual bounty hunter, because that's what they should do. So, yes, Jango Fett again.
Everybody go. Aglax, did you go?
Oh yeah, Sabine Wren, man, all day long. Best Mandalorian to ever do it. She's out here spray painting things. One of the original rebels. You see the ghost ship there at the end of Skywalker, so there's a chance that she's just been down for decades.
Why are you talking about that movie? What?
She got trained by the second best Jedi ever, Freddie Prinze Jr. Sabine Wren. 100%.
Let's go.
All of you gave just different answers, and I'm gonna add another different answer. The best Mandalorian, my favorite, not best, but it's the winner of the 2022 Royal Rumble, Cosca Reeves, Sasha. What am I looking at? Wait, what you got? Put it again.
This one. This is the best.
But does the rocket shoot?
No, I wish. If it wasn't,
sorry.
If it did, I wouldn't be holding
We can't
it.
accept that answer then. Sorry.
If it was, it'd be a freaking carbonite. Are you kidding me? If I had to put it in ice cream fire.
Right.
Well, we got a last-minute question. Here's the question: who will be in the next episode of Boba Fett?
Well, I know it won't be.
Nobody that
It
matters.
won't be Boba. It won't be Boba Fett. I'll bet you any money about that.
Sabine Wren versus Boba Fett. Who wins? Well, if that fight happens today, then Sabine.
Clearly. Cosca took him.
If that fight happened at any time, I'd pick Sabine. She won the Dark Saber.
Exactly.
If he has knee darts, he wins every time.
Yeah.
Never seen that coming.
We're getting Cara Dune, guys.
Wouldn't that be
God,
crazy?
no, please.
They would never.
Plus, they're different clans and Mandalorian cultures.
Yep.
Yeah. That is the stream. Check out all of our channels here, including General Zod, who was a late... General Zod was up at midnight, like past midnight, and I threw him the invitation. So I knew you were going to show up.
Yeah,
towards the end.
I'm so sorry. I was sleeping. I had my daughter this morning, and then I woke up and I looked in the chat. I go, oh, somebody gave me a link. I have to click it. And I was like, oh, I'm a little late.
It's all good. I appreciate having Dave Filoni join the channel.
Yeah,
that makes sense, guys.
I have to turn on my camera.
He looks like Dave Filoni. That's why he's got the whole cowboy hat thing and everything.
Hold on, I'll give you the Dave Filoni look. I'm on my phone right now.
Hey.
Oh,
You're not lying. Jesus.
legit, man.
I love that.
I just want to say we're working on some great projects. I can't tell you who's going to come on next because I'm under contract, but the next episode will be a lot better. There'll be less Boba Fett. Don't worry about it, guys. We were just punking you the first time.
Strapper Wolf. Oh man, Skip and Tosh is in the building. Skip and Tosh says, "I just want to see Obi-Wan stream." What does that mean? Stream?
He wants to see an
It's coming on
Obi-Wan.
Disney Plus.
An Obi-Wan stream.
Oh, like with questions about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah.
Hello there. Well, thank you for coming to my podcast. I'm streaming from Tatooine.
Very good.
Hey, Chillmonger, can I plug something real quick?
Plug. This is the time.
All right. So next Friday, I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern on Evil Mike's channel, Evil Mike's Comics. There's a bunch of us doing a kind of retrospective review of Kevin Smith's movies. It's going to be a series. We're starting off with Clerks. So if you want to check that out, I think it's going to rotate channels, but I think the first one's going to be on Evil Mike's Comics. So I'll be on that. TM Nerdy will be on that. So it'll be a fun time. If you guys are into Kevin Smith movies and you guys want to either shit on him in the comments or whatever, please go ahead.
Look at Fanboy shaking his head. Kevin Smith. All right, what do you got going on your channel, Fanboy?
Well, if I ever get around to it, I got to do my tearing apart the Zack Snyder Justice League movie.
Knew it was going to be
Let's
positive.
talk about my masterpiece. You know I'm a DC shell, right?
Aglex, what do you got happening on your channel? Aggressively relaxing.
Oh, I'm making bad parody music and doing prank phone calls in Thrawn's voice. It's a lot of fun.
I swear to God, that was the funniest one that you had. The Thrawn phone call where it's telemarketers calling you. You're like, let me just pretend to be Thrawn. He does that all the time. Aggressively relaxing.
Oh my God, that's good.
Scotty?
Yeah, man. So on my channel specifically, I do a lot of gaming. I'm getting into Escape from Tarkov, which is one of the most difficult first-person shooters I've played in a long time. But all of my ridiculous Star Wars takes that nobody likes, you can find on X-Wing's channel. We do a podcast every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's Boomer Council with me, Star Wars Obsession, X-Wing, and the Matt Cave.
I'm liking Star Wars Obsession a lot. Like, that guy's top tier.
If you guys didn't see his little short that he did of older Kanan talking about Order 66 while the Bad Batch scene with younger Kanan is playing out, perfection. It's got like 40K views or something stupid. Way more than that, I think now. Good clip.
Kevin Smith had the first connected movie universe I ever saw. That was in the 90s too. Yeah, for movies.
Mad Max series.
I guess that's not true then. Yeah.
Well, no, because Mad Max is just a trilogy. It wasn't. Kevin Smith had different movies that were in the same.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Right. Okay.
Nerds. Star Wars Santa, what you got?
Go too longer. You weren't going to call him on that. Come on, man.
Yeah, talk Santa.
So I'm doing collaborations with Jason Ward for MakingStarWars.net and with my friend the Magic Maker from Reimagining Star Wars, and of course Star Wars Meg. We do weekly live streams with each of them, and we just talk about the news and the content of Star Wars. We kind of have a saying on my channel of keep the content about the content. We don't like to talk so much about the politics and the drama. We're not about that.
I think we mentioned politics twice, and they both came out of your mouth first.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, but I try to keep most of the content about content. Yeah. And we talk about Star Wars almost every day.
Yeah, right on. Rogue Comics.
Yes.
Plug yourself.
Plug? How dare you, sir? So yeah, I'm going to be doing a video today, probably a stream about the comic books that are going to be dropping on Wednesday, because I'm not as organized as all of you guys. Like you have, like I heard Scotty say, like, you know, oh, we're going to do this at 9 p.m. on Wednesday or whatever. And it sounds like it's a recurring thing. I can never be that regular at all.
You got one day. You get 1 day out of them.
See, I just, so I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to start putting all the things together, because see, the little footage that's there, that's showing in my little box there, that's actual footage of me pulling up to the store earlier, because apparently all that snow that is in the back of Santa's window there, where it's shown in his window there, it came this way. So now we're dealing with that, and coming to the store, it's literally nobody's going to be here. So I'm going to have to do something to keep myself busy. So I'll put together something and have a stream later on tonight about everything that's going to be dropping on Wednesday in comic book stores.
I think I need to show you a picture of what it looks like over here, Mike.
Am I right?
Let's
go crazy, freezing their toes off, not knowing the correct footwear to be wearing in the snow. Yeah.
And I also have to say, it's been really different hearing people not track Boba Fett, because this is my experience for the past 5 or 6 weeks has been literally hearing people like the individual that's to my left with the little WWE belt on his shoulder there, trashing every aspect of the show. Yes, that individual there. So I just appreciate and the one in the upper right hand corner
it's
there.
It's not that hard to trash the show.
This is what I'm surrounded by. So when I try to appreciate something, it's difficult because I hear all these little nitpicking. Like for instance, Fanboy was watching. They did a watch on another philosophical pickles channel. Watch of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the stuff that he was saying. And I don't like that movie at all. But the stuff that he was saying, it was so ridiculous that he had me defending that movie. That's how bad it got. And,
the memes, bro.
You know, it's just so. So this has been a treat to actually.
Yes, I love how plot holes are nitpicking now. Okay, whatever.
Anyways.
All right, General Zod, the stream that will never end. Because all I asked was you guys to plug your stuff, not have the argument about snow and all that stuff. General Zod.
Well, if you guys
right?
know,
Oh, my bad.
or
Yeah,
if
you know
you
what?
have-
I have stuff, Anzo. My bad. Because I put you up. I forgot, and I didn't let you go. Go ahead, Anzo.
It's all good. Big Afford Entertainment. You know, we do Chaos Central stuff, OOC, real life stuff. And just to backtrack on Mike, because Mike loves to hear about a woman talking about dating a Jawa. So,
Also, Enzo has the best versus battles you will see online. Just to let you know.
Oh, and Mike is the reigning champ right now, but that's gonna change.
And I liked your video, Anzo, that you did on the truckers talking to Roberto about that in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
I agreed with most of what you guys were saying. I feel like, never mind, that's a whole another stream. Now I'm prolonging. Zod, go ahead. General Zod, plug yourself. Tell them who you are.
It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment today, Mr. Zod. And thank you very much for having me on extremely late. I do late-night talks. It's where we get together and we talk political, but we mock it because it's funny and people are stupid. And also, I'll be doing a video on We're Not Dead Yet. We're Not Dead Yet, or We're Dead Yet. The new Korean zombie thing on Netflix. I'm going to be doing a review on it because Perp loved it, but I've got different views. So I'm going to be posting that video probably later today. And that's pretty much it. But catch us every Friday. You can see my wacky panel talk about crazy stuff. And one day I'll be pulled off of YouTube for it. But thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining even as late as possible. I appreciate all of you guys for staying the whole way through. You guys can always dip out if I ever invite you guys again and you feel like, oh, I gotta be somewhere, go ahead and leave because there's 9 of you. Appreciate that. 33 burning Star Wars questions.